What is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome to another installment of the Casually Chelsea show. I'm accompanied by the starting panel of Scott, CP, and myself, Marshall DBDX. You guys already know what to do. If you haven't done so already, smash up the like button. It helps out the channel tremendously. Be sure to also subscribe if you are new here. If you're just joining us, we do transfer news twice a week. We do other types of content and all that stuff. I was thinking about saying one thing, and then I stopped myself, and then I just completely stopped and derailed my train of thought. That's how we roll here at Casually FC. We just, we do it live. This is a live stream, and we go for about 3 hours. There's a lot of news to discuss, ladies and gents. So if you're chilling, if you're working, if you're doing whatever, just put it in the background. Make sure to smash up the like button before you do so. Enjoy, sit back, relax. And yeah, we have a lot to discuss. Links in the description below for more content. Leave a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts on everything we're going to be discussing today. And check out the memberships, 4 different tiers starting at 99p. Yeah, that's right. First tier starts at 99p, not even $1. Hey, helps out tremendously towards the channel and keeping the lights on. Big up to every single one of you in the chat. Apologies for the delay. The transfer news and the transfer sagas are going crazy. There's too much to catch up on, and I am falling behind. This is tough. If you guys knew half the work that it takes to make this show possible, you'd probably have a lot more sympathy for me. And if you don't, well, you might not be human. But anyways, let's go ahead and start off the show like we always do, ramping it up until we get to the big headliners of the week, or since the last show. Let's start off with the Club World Cup badge. So if you guys haven't already heard, there is some news in regards to how this badge is going to be worn and how it's going to work out. So we'll go ahead and start off with the first tweet right here. Exclusive, the Club World Cup winner will be awarded a special champions badge, and it will remain on their shirt for 4 years. The inaugural champion will keep the gold logo until 2029. Now, a lot of people, for whatever reason, upset about this, upset about the Club World Cup format in general, being that it's every 4 years, the most accomplished team in those 4 years qualifies for the Club World Cup and gets to wear this for 4 years straight. Now, I'll ask the panel before I give my opinion on this. CP, I'll start with you, brother. What do you think about wearing this for 4 years if we win it? And what do you think about the way to qualify as well? What are your opinions on this whole debacle?
Well, the whole point for it to be 4 years, if it's like the World Cup, that's the whole point, people. So I don't know why people are upset or whatever nonsense that they're fucking raging about now, but makes sense. Hope we win it, because it's a cool thing to have for 4 years, and no one can take it away from us for 4 years. So yeah, let's go on and win it. Nothing much more to say. The logo is not as good, but I get it because it's like this weird circular thing. But then
you mean the trophy logo?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
Well, I say the logo is not on screen, by the way.
I'm talking about the crest, like how in this one you have the actual like trophy here in the middle of the Man City one. It looks nice. That one, it just looks like a bunch of circles. So yeah.
It'll probably be somewhere.
And Gabriel,
like that.
I'm not moaning. I'm complaining that other people are bitching and moaning. And yes, I'll swear. Welcome to an adult stream. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Hey, big up Ahmed Jureg. Thank you for the support there. Scott, what do you think about the format in terms of how to qualify, as well as having the badge on for 4 years if you win it?
I mean, the badge thing makes sense because it's literally every 4 years. Like, that's what happens in every other competition. Like, the only difference is this is like 4 years. I don't really care about the thing is, the 4 year thing is only a problem if you care about the new format. If you don't care about the new format, then it has to be a 4 year thing, because for countries that aren't in Europe, it's like impossible to determine who qualifies. Because, like, for example, if you look at CONCACAF, for example, it's still outside of obviously that 1 year because of reasons, I guess. It's the last 4 winners of the CONCACAF Champions League. Now, it just so happens that most of those teams are Mexican, because Mexican teams are just better. But like, there's no real way, I don't think, as far as I'm aware, I don't think there's any real way in like CONCACAF of like determining, because obviously we have the coefficient. I don't think they have anything similar as far as I'm aware. I know they have seeding in certain things for like certain competitions, like the Leagues Cup where they play together. But I don't know how they work that out. So yeah, like I don't. There's no, without doing the 4-year thing, there's no way of like fairly working out how to work out like who plays, unless you just do pick names out of a hat kind of nonsense, which they kind of did for Europe, but they also didn't, like, because it's based on competition, but it's also a bit like backwards. So yeah, so like I said, if you've got an issue with the 4 years thing, it's because then your issue is the format. If you've got no issue with the format, then you can't have an issue with the 4-year thing, because they go hand in hand.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with it. Chris, where the hell are you? Why don't you come here and smash the like button, Chris? Huh? Anyways, yeah, in terms of the format, listen, I get it. I think it is subject to change, just because, for example, PSG being in there, I get they're like a big team, but if we're basing it off of the biggest accolades in the continent, I feel that, like, let me think this one through.
They're not the issue though, Mark. Like because the thing is because it's based on coefficient, so it's based on how well you do in Europe. They are in the They are in the Champions League every year. Now, some of that is down to how like dominant they are in their league, but they are in the Champions League and get, like, for the last few years, they've actually got decently far. Like, they were obviously in, I don't know how far back it goes. Were they in the final before or after we won it?
Before we won it.
Okay, so that's probably
Bayern.
For PSG, it's before, yeah.
It's
not back too far, but like, for example, like taking out them winning it this year, they've been in semi-finals, they've been in quarterfinals, like they've been far. The one that's like, there's a few that's weird, like Barca aren't in it, but it's because they had a couple years, like they got grouped 1 year, and then they didn't win. They got grouped 1 year in the Champions League, I think, and then didn't win the Europa League, got knocked out in the Europa League. Or actually, was it? It might have. I think they didn't even qualify for the Europa League. I think they got knocked out by Man United, maybe in like the qualifiers. Of the Europa.
I don't remember that.
That was Xavi, I think. I think that was either the season they won the league or the season after. Also, actually, no, it wouldn't have been the season after. I think it was the season they won the league. But then you got stuff like that, and you got, like, for example, Salzburg are in it. But the reason they're in it is because Arsenal couldn't be in it. I think it was Arsenal or Liverpool, because you couldn't have more than 4 teams from one country, and there's 4 English teams. So like, it's just. Yeah, it's just weird. Like, it's just a coefficient, is what
it's definitely going to change. Well,
it's 100% going to change, because we're about to drop. Like, we're about to drop dramatically, because obviously,
unless we step up tremendously in Europe.
No, but Mark, unless we get to the final, like, because we won it, so you're going to drop off dramatically. So, unless we get to the final, which I don't think we will. Then,
I feel like as long as, like, if we can consistently, in the next 4 years, if we can consistently get into round of 16 and do some damage from there, because I don't think we're going to finish round of 16 for the next 4 years. I think there'll be a year where it's kind of like PSG, like maybe we'll get to quarter, round of 16, maybe a semi, who knows? Like, that's me being optimistic, obviously, but like, I feel like that could count towards something. It could help us out.
Oh, well, and that's
yeah.
In 4 years, potentially. I'm talking.
Plus, we won the Conference League. I think that's something.
No, but I think it's 3 more years for us, right? Because isn't this Club World Cup in 2025 between people who've won? Is it from 2020 or is it 2021?
Since the year we won the Champions League forward, I think we were the cutoff.
So that's 3 years, no?
Yeah. So the UEFA coefficient is done on a 4 year. Yeah, it's done on a 4 year thing. The year we won the Champions League is the last year.
Okay.
So at the end of next season. Yeah, at the end of next season, the coefficient will no longer include our Champions League win.
No.
Yeah.
So we're going to
Exactly.
drop quite a bit, probably, as I said, unless we get to this season, we get to like the final or something. So we're going to drop quite a bit, but then there is potential for us to go back up. But it might mean the next season, if we get Champions League, we still might be in pot 1, but we also might be in pot 2 next season, for example, just because it does drop quite a bit.
Sorry to CP. I thought you were going to say something. But yeah, it's an interesting format. Like I said before, I think it's gonna change and be tweaked up just because, you have pundits out there speaking their mind, like, your Jamie Carragher's and stuff. Like, as much as you may not rate them, they do have some say power, and some of these guys do kind of move the needle and, make FIFA more aware of some of the maybe issues in how teams are selected. To an extent, yes, it is kind of like the what was the tournament called? The one that fucking FIFA were losing their minds over? The Super League?
Super League?
Yeah, it was Super League. Yeah. So in a sense, it's kind of like the Super League, but you can at least qualify into this. The Super League from the initial one was more like, these teams are going to be in it, you can't get relegated, blah, 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 which was stupid.
My thing with the changes, I don't see how they can change it. Because unless the only way I can think they can change it is instead of going hang on, how many teams are in the club? Let me have a little look. Club.
You know what? The other thing, I think just 32, maybe. The only way I can see it changing is if they decide to count the domestic trophies too.
Well, no, they wouldn't, and that's stupid because it's a FIFA competition. Like if you look at who qualifies, right? There's 4 from Asia. It's the winners of the 3 Champions Leagues, and then the best ranked team across a 4-year period. Again, I don't quite know how they do that ranking, but it is what it is. From Africa, it's the same, except it's 2 years worth of Champions Leagues. Again, I don't know why. Or maybe because the same team won. Yeah, same team won. Yeah, they did. It's the 2 Champions League winners, and then it's the 2 best ranked eligible teams outside of that across a 4-year ranking. Same for CONCACAF outside of obviously the weird one because of reasons. Same for CONMEBOL. Then 1 slot is for Oceania, and it's basically it's either the team that wins the Champions League in that area or the best ranked team. The one that's weird, other than you got the one host, the one that's weird is the what's it called? The UEFA one. And the only way they could maybe do that is instead of going so you go the 4 Champions League winners, if there are 4 different Champions League winners, then the 4 Europa League winners, and then the 4 next best ranked teams. Because at the moment you've got Salzburg are in it, Dortmund are in it. They're the third. Dortmund are the 3rd best ranked eligible team at the time when they did this ranking. Benfica and Porto are in it as well.
Yeah, and Benfica and Porto never make it too far. Maybe Porto made a quarterfinal in recent times.
They made the quarters
as far as I can remember.
Yeah, they made the quarter.
That was when we faced them.
They made the quarterfinal last season? Because they beat Arsenal, didn't they? Or did Arsenal? No, Arsenal beat them on penalties.
No, Arsenal beat them, and then they went. No, Arsenal went to get knocked out by Thomas fucking Tuchel.
Yeah, so it's just so I don't really see how they could change it in terms of the teams that qualify. They just maybe need to find a better way that's not corrupt, not a non-corrupt way of picking the host.
Do you feel like it's corrupt in a sense?
100%. Anyone that watched MLS, Inter Miami were not the best team in MLS. The only reason they're there is because Messi plays for them. They weren't the best team.
That's corrupt. But in terms of the host nation,
not in terms of the host nation. I'm talking about the host team.
Okay.
For example, if Saudi Arabia,
because it makes sense to have it where the World Cup is going to be a year after.
But for example, the next one is in. I don't know what they're going to do for the next one actually. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do for the next one. The next one's in 4 countries.
Oh yeah, because wasn't Spain? No, it was Morocco.
It's 5 countries: Morocco, Spain, Portugal, Paraguay, Argentina.
Why?
So there are 2 games being played in Paraguay and Argentina because it is the I'm going to get my dates wrong. It's the 100th. No, it's an anniversary basically. There's 2 reasons. There's the how do I word it? There's the like.
When did Benfica make
Power-
signings? What the fuck?
There's the like.
Mm-hmm.
There's the supposed reason, then there's the actual reason. So the Argentina and Paraguay, there are going to be 2 games played in there because it's meant to be the bear with me a second.
Yeah, I got you.
Killer AMC, that's not true in the slightest. Yeah, they're playing 2 games in Paraguay or Argentina because it's meant to be an anniversary of one of the previous World Cups. They're then playing it in Portugal, Spain, and Morocco because Portugal and Spain like won the bid. They included Morocco because Morocco are in there. It means that Africa have now had a World Cup, which means the only 2 continents that you can now host a World Cup for the one afterwards in 2034 is either Oceania, so Australia, which is never happening, or Asia, which means the Saudi Arabia can get it. That's why they've done it.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
My point with all of that is, like, for example, he won't still be playing at this point, but say Ronaldo's still playing for Al Nassr when it's in Saudi Arabia. If they're the best team because they won the league or they won the Champions League, cool. They probably won't be. He'll probably just get in because of reasons, like Messi did this time. Because again, like, they weren't the best team in that league.
Yeah, it sounds really complicated. I heard what you said, and then you lost me at some points just because it's
it's confusing as shit.
A lot. Yeah,
like, it is confusing as shit, but when you look into it, it's just like it makes no sense, and it's just corruption. Why am I surprised?
Yeah. I mean, none of us should be surprised with that with FIFA, to be honest. So it is what it is. But all right. Let's move on to the next topic because we have plenty to talk about as well. Let's breeze through this one. Roman's money. Wow, yeah, this is finally being. There's some news on this, and something's actually happening, which is incredible. It's incredible. Justice, maybe, we'll see. But all right, let's go ahead and read into it. So we have here from Ben Jacobs. Statement from Councillor Raquel Reeves and Foreign Secretary David Lammy confirms the government may go to court to release Clearlake and Bowley's Chelsea sale funds. The government is determined to see the proceeds from the sale of Chelsea Football Club reach humanitarian causes in Ukraine, following Russia's illegal full-scale invasion. We are deeply frustrated that it has not been possible to reach the agreement on this with Mr. Abramovich so far. While the door for negotiations will remain open, we are fully prepared to pursue this through the courts if required to ensure that people suffering in Ukraine can benefit from those proceeds as soon as possible. Bro, this was like 3-4 years ago when this happened. It's insane that this has taken so long. I know legal matters usually do take a long time, but the fact that there's been no movement, nothing, like, you know, we already talked about this in a previous show. It's just clearly a BS stuff, right? UK government councillor Rachel Reeves is preparing to haul Roman Abramovich's court to finally break 3-year deadlock around the frozen £2.35 billion of Chelsea sales funds. The rest of this is pretty much the same thing I just read. Look, it's about fucking time. It's about time. I mean, I don't care if it goes back to Roman, but at least, like, let it go towards the thing that it was intended for, which, if we are to believe Roman Abramovich, humanitarian purposes for Ukraine, right? So, like, wherever you stand on that situation, doesn't really matter. The point being is that it had a purpose, it was a humanitarian one, and it should go to that humanitarian purpose. Any thoughts on this, guys?
Not particularly. I don't really understand all the, like, financial stuff and political stuff. Like, it just just don't trust my government at all with anything. So yeah, it's kind of my thoughts on that
one. Yeah. CP, anything in regards to you?
No, not really.
I was gonna say CP's making pasta again.
No, I'm finished making pasta. Don't worry.
Okay.
So yeah, no, nothing more to add to this. I don't know
how
where
about
this money's going. I honestly don't know where this actually
we hope
the
it's
money's going.
humanitarian
Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
That is true.
95% is not going humanitarian. 5% is, but
yeah.
Just
I mean, listen, I'm not hopeful that it's gonna go to the right cause, but hey, who knows? Who knows? You never know. There is that slim chance. There is that slim chance that it actually does go to the intended purpose. But yeah, who knows?
I'll be honest.
I'm as idealistic as the next person.
I think we're doing more humanitarian work right now than what the British government's gonna do with us buying these 15-year-old kids. So, to be honest,
Fair enough.
and
I don't disagree with that one. I don't disagree with that one at all. How about some news in regards to your pasta? What kind of pasta are we talking?
it's just like my brother's spot. Fucking hell.
You weren't ready for that one, huh?
Yeah, no, it's just this bomb pasta that's like feels like handmade pasta you can get from Costco and then just like boiled in and shit like that. It's like actually properly good. It's not like that prepackaged shit. So that's the good first step. And then I got some Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. You know what I'm saying? Grate that shit straight from Italy. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. Get some nice chicken boobies. You know, chicken breasts. You know, paws.
Chicken boobies. What the fuck, dude?
Right.
Get some of that. You know what I'm saying?
How old are we?
Chop it up to small pieces. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Cook that shit. Put some salt and pepper on that. Season that well. Let that cook, and then you put the cheese and then some cream. You know what I'm saying? And then the pasta, and then let it do something.
All right. I mean, I think that was more entertaining.
I don't know what's going on, Killer AMC. I'm just literally having my pasta right now. Man's putting me on the spot. Okay.
Hey, fair enough. Fair enough. Hey, that was more entertaining than the Roman section part of that. So there you go. Smash the likes if you like CP's pasta recipe. Costco, ladies and gents, Costco. All right, let's go ahead on to the next segment. Yes, he did say chicken boobies.
Yes, I did.
All right, UEFA fine. So we might be in a little bit of a cahoots, slap on the wrist, some may say, because we have been fined, apparently, or that's what's said to happen. Breaking, Barcelona faces UEFA sanction for a second consecutive year of financial rule breaches, potentially including a reduced Champions League squad or points deduction. Chelsea and Aston Villa first-time offenders will face financial penalties. UEFA will confirm details this month. Obviously, this is in regard, well, not obviously, but this is in regards to the fact that I think we'll talk about the selling the women's club to ourselves thing in the next segment, but this is in regards to the fact that UEFA did not approve of that. So do you guys think that we mend the bridge on this one? Do you think it's going to go through? Because the details are going to come out later in the month. Maybe we fix it up or something like that. I mean, how do you guys feel about the UEFA points? Do you think it's, think it's a big deal?
Yes. Well, it depends on what the penalties are. Because, it all depends on what the penalties are, I'll be honest. Because normally first-time offenders is fines, typically. Yeah. For this kind of thing, I think. So we should be fine with just the fines. I hope it's not a points penalty, because
I hope so too. We need all the points we can get in the championship.
Yeah. Well, I'm just hoping it's not a fine or whatever. No, sorry, not a points deduction.
Yeah. Maybe UEFA moves the goalpost, ladies and gents. But yeah, almost 100 of you guys are watching, by the way. Please be sure to smash the like button. Maybe you just tuned in, you forgot to wipe your feet at the floor or at the door. Floor and door. Yeah, I mean, both work. Yeah, you can wipe the floor mat is usually on the floor. So yeah, wipe your feet by smashing that like button. Subscribe if you're new, because we got more news coming up for you guys. So in regards to UEFA, it's probably going to be a fine since it's the first offense. Barcelona, on the other hand, yikes, another breach of the financial rules. So we'll see how they get punished later on and when the season begins. So let's move on to the other aspect of the financial stuff, which is the selling the female club to ourselves, all that fun stuff. So here we go. The Premier League is planning to make a new proposal to clubs this week to close the loophole that has allowed Chelsea to register a profit from selling hotels and their women's team to the sister company. And then we got an update literally yesterday that the Premier League has failed in its bid to prevent clubs selling assets to sister companies in order to comply with the PSR. A proposal to close a loophole that has allowed Chelsea to register a profit from selling hotels and their own women's team to a sister company did not even go to a vote at the Premier League's annual meeting and has failed. guess people don't really care as much as they
No, but
fucking say they do.
Marshall, the thing is, they brought something similar up in, I think, September, October, when we did it last year. When we sold the hotels last year, the EPL brought this shit up in September, October for a vote. And it didn't pass then. So why the fuck are they doing it now?
They're trying to really push it. But considering there hasn't even been a vote for it, I don't think clubs care. And to be quite frank with you, I think, or frank with everyone really, not just with UTP, but I also think clubs rather keep that loophole open, because we're seeing more and more clubs have a sister company now. And with the way PSR is like, look at Aston Villa, for example. And actually, let's actually keep going, because this is going to be an interesting chart to look at. So one thing I wanted to point out with this one here is Palmer, apparently, according to CIES football, they're saying that Palmer is worth 106.5 million pounds, which is insane considering we got this kid for 40 million pounds. Obviously, other players on this list is Lamine Yamal at 340 million, which is absolutely fucking wild. Obviously, these aren't going to be the selling prices, but yeah, these are insane, exorbitant numbers for value on players. But the reason I was going to keep going is we're talking about Aston Villa, and let me get this comment out of here so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. A little bit difficult to see it, but you'll see right here. This is basically a chart of the PSR, or say how safe from PSR a few of these clubs are. Now, Chelsea are at the very top, 300 million pounds away from a PSR breach. Aston Villa, on the other hand, are 15 million pounds away from a PSR breach. It's actually insane to see how much at risk they are of PSR. Now, my whole point in bringing that up is I don't think Aston Villa has a sister company or a sister club or whatever, but who knows? Maybe down the line they can find a loophole, try to make something like that happen, and they can sell the club to themselves. I think this loophole, rather than these clubs, pointing the finger and narking out other clubs, I think maybe, this is just my thought, right? I'm not saying this is exactly what's happening, but I think maybe some owners are actually saying, you know what, with all this PSR shit that's holding us from getting our signings and all this stuff, why do I want to keep closing these loopholes? Why don't I just do the very thing that they did? If it's not against the rules, if it's not going to get us points deduction, if it's benefiting Chelsea, why don't we do the same fucking thing? And I think it's smart. Why not play the game? Instead of hating on it and, the whole, for example, amortization. The clubs voted it down. We're no longer able to amortize over 6 years. It has to be, under 6 years or less.
It's 5 years or less. Like the maximum.
5 years or less.
5 years.
Right? Instead of doing that, instead of, voting it down and blocking it, use it as a tool to get players that you need. Because now more than ever, I feel like the league is more competitive. A lot more clubs have more money. Look at Brighton, for example. Brighton has a fuck ton of money. It's insane. Obviously, they're not going to buy
I agree, but
juggernauts.
I think the amortization thing doesn't affect as many teams as it does, especially like across the board as it does this, where it feels like the amortization thing only really matters massively if you're paying big fees for players.
Yeah.
Like, if you're paying big fees for players, like we did for Caicedo and Enzo, it only really matters from a sense of like, we could stretch it across 10 years. We're going to play 10 million a year. That's not affecting a Brighton because they're not spending 100 million pounds.
Yeah.
Like they're spending max like 40 million. Like, I think their record transfer fee is Rutter at 40 million. It's like they only really need to, if they split that across 5 years, that's 8 million a year. That's not even that bad.
Give or take, yeah.
Yeah, that's not that bad. Like, that's fine. For most teams,
But
that
players are getting more expensive though. Like
not 100%, but like also teams are getting more money. Like there was more and more money being pumped into the Premier League, so most teams don't care. It's only really the big teams that spend the big money that affects. This is different, where it's like, especially for teams that are getting fucked. Let's just put it bluntly, that are getting fucked because of PSR.
Burnley, for example, look at this.
Not even just Burnley. Burnley's a bit different, but like Villa, for example, or Newcastle, or teams like that. If they have an asset that they can use to sell, and use this loophole, then why wouldn't they do that? Like, it just makes sense for them to do that because then it allows them to help with PSR, which is kind of fucked anyway.
Yep.
And to be fair, this PSR, the other thing as well is this whole PSR. Well, I don't know how it's going to work with the new rules. This PSR thing is only in for next season. Then they're changing to the rules that UEFA uses, which is a percentage of revenue. So it will still make a difference. Yeah, it will still make a difference, but it's just going to help them because it's them teams can spend more on, like, they can then reinforce their club and keep more players. Like, if Aston Villa are able to sell their women's team, for example, to themselves and make some money, that could be them either signing, that could be them keeping Martinez potentially, which I think would be huge for them, or it's maybe they have to still sell Martinez, but it means they keep Asensio. It means maybe they keep Rashford. It means maybe they are able to get 2 or 3 more players than they would be currently because of they keep Rodgers, for example. Like, so yeah, it's just I completely understand why clubs don't want to do this because especially the clubs that are getting fucked by PSR, they are going to want every loophole they can to avoid having to get penalties because the whole system's fucked. So I completely understand.
Like imagine being Aston Villa right now. And you just had a phenomenal season. Well, okay. Let me not say phenomenal. They had
a good season.
I think they had a good season. They went far in the Champions League. They got up to quarterfinals, right? Which is the furthest. Correct me if I'm wrong, ladies and gents. No, it's not the furthest they've ever gone because they won the Champions League in their prior history, right?
I have no idea.
You're gonna have to help me on that one. I'm pretty sure Aston Villa has won a Champions League.
Even that though, Marshall.
Yeah.
Forget all of that. They just sold a player for 80-something million in January.
Yeah.
They literally just sold a player for 80 million in January.
Yeah,
and their prize for doing that is they're now having to sell Martinez for, I don't know what he's been reported it's going to be sold, but I imagine it'll be around 30 potentially. And potentially Rodgers for like 60 to 70. So you're telling me
what it is, Scott? I think
they just sold a player for 80 and their reward is having to sell players for 100 million. Correct
me if I'm wrong. I think this is based off of sales last year. So the Duran and the Martinez sales that happened this summer or in this January are going to be reflected in the next PSR. So this next year.
So for them to pass PSR, they have to. So for the PSR thing, it's same for us, for example, where what's it called? I think it was last season or season before, we had to sell players by the 30th of June because they're like, not the financial year, but like the football financial, like PSR reset is the 1st of July when all contracts like run out and renew and start typically. So it, like, for example, we had to sell players before the 30th of June. So it would be reflected in that season's, numbers basically. And it's this, I don't know if it's the same with this, but if it is the same with this, like, so you're telling me that they've got 80 million pounds worth, I think it was 80 million pounds worth of sales or a sale on their books for this season, and they're still having to sell players. That's ridiculous. Like that's not how football should be working.
It really sucks.
And then for example, you've got, like, even though I don't think that, like, you've still got the City situation going on. You've got United, who apparently were meant to be fucked financially, who are in huge amounts of debt, but can still be about to spend £100 million potentially in the space of a week. It's fucked.
Yeah, let me pull this list again.
System is fucked. It makes no sense.
Yeah, I'll pull up this list again because I did see that and I was baffled. I think I even said in the group chat that made me realize, like, holy shit, United aren't as fucked as I thought they were. They registered £141 million safe from PSR.
Where?
I know. How? How is that even possible?
They didn't sell anyone for big money. The most they sold a player for was 30 million.
I did the math. I didn't do the math, but Transfer Market last season, they only sold 100 million euros worth of players.
Yeah, and a third of that was McTominay.
Yeah. So it's like, where are the money coming from? Is this from cutting the sandwiches from the cafeteria? Like, is this from all that? Like, is that how you generated that much money for this PSR
a lot
season?
of revenue, don't get me wrong, but like that's fucked, man.
United and Spurs, after the seasons they had,
Oh no,
are
Spurs
safer
I
from
understand,
PSR
right?
than Arsenal.
Spurs I understand because like they don't spend a lot. They also do
Yeah.
sell a decent amount, and like they also just won the Europa League, so like they're going to get a decent amount of money, and also them being in the Champions League. I understand Tottenham. I don't fucking understand United. I don't genuinely don't understand United.
Yeah. Like, even if I look at Liverpool, like, also how, I mean, they didn't sell that many players, but they didn't buy anyone outside of Chiesa, really. And they just won the league.
Bro, last year they posted a loss of 113 million.
Projected maximum pre-tax loss allowable under Premier League PSR rules. Let me see here. Figures listed here is our estimate of how much each club could afford to lose in 24-25 pre-tax and remain within the respective threshold of the 22-23 to 23-25 3-year PSR cycle. Colors reflect our view of the likelihood they will breach their individual limits. Negative numbers denote where we believe the club requires a profit in 24-25. So this is from the Athletic.
Yeah, I'm having a look now. Like I just had a look. Tottenham don't even
3 years.
that much money. Yeah, so it's a 3-year period. So you basically, the way PSR works is you can't make more than £105 million loss over a course of 3 years. So they take your losses across 3 years, average it out. Is basically what they do. So what this is saying here, my understanding, is United could afford to make 100 could afford to spend 141 million pounds before they get close to that threshold, which is fucked. That makes no sense. That genuinely just makes no sense.
Yeah, I genuinely, like, I'm with you, and I'm actually happy that I'm happy that it's, yeah, I'm not gonna disagree with you, but I think with the way PSR works, I think it needs to be either just do the UEFA one, right? Copy that, or make it make more sense, because I think it's, I agree with you, Scott. I think it's really shitty that a team like Aston Villa, right, who are building a project, who also, as far as I'm aware, they have sold a decent amount of players. Like, Jack Grealish helped fund this, right? Like, to an extent, like, Jack Grealish helped begin the snowball that is our current version of Aston Villa, that £100 million transfer. Then you had they brought in Leon Bailey, which I still think he plays for the club, but they also sold Diaby to Saudi.
Leon Bailey, I saw Leon Bailey is apparently linked with a move away to Saudi as well.
Yeah, Diaby got sold to Saudi last season. They sold Duran.
Million.
Like, they're from the outside looking in, it looks like they're doing the right things. Like, they're selling players, they're bringing in players for relatively cheap. I mean, they might sell walk-ins. Like, the fact that they're this low on the table and they're in danger of breaching PSR, they're being punished by that, and now they have to sell. They potentially have to sell players like Morgan Rogers, which I'm sure they don't want to sell because he's young and they want to build, with him in mind. It just sucks because then it pretty much stints the growth of these teams. It stops making it as competitive, in my opinion. I want teams to be able to obviously have a limit in towards how much they can actually spend to make it fair for the other teams, right? Just so that other teams have a chance to compete, and it's not just like a monopoly of the big six. But at the same time, like, if a team has money, an injection of money, a Romanesque, type of takeover, then make it so that they don't get punished for building a project, and make it make sense. It's so confusing, and you guys in the chat can tell how confusing it is based off of the discussion we just had. But it's really dumb, because now I feel like Aston Villa, everything they worked for, they're gonna have to scrap so much of it, and they already scrapped enough as it is. Yeah, they sold Douglas Luiz, they sold a lot of players, man.
Yeah, they sold Douglas Luiz, Duran, Diaby, all of these within the last season. They sold Diego Carlos. They sold Diego Carlos as well in January. Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
For
The thing is, like,
yeah.
it's stupid, man. Let me see their wages, because they're like, this is true. Their wages are like nuts, but it means their revenue is terrible. But I don't understand how.
I'll read this, Abdemus. I'll read that in a bit, but yeah, Alexis, big up to you, brother. They do not generate the revenue to pay wages they are paying. PSR is there to protect the clubs. Yeah, I mean, and that's why, like, I can't knock Chelsea too much for when they do this whole incentivized wage structure. It makes sense. Like, you look at, based off of what we've heard from Radcliffe and Ineos and stuff like that, like, you look at the issues they have financially, a lot of it comes from the flops that they had on high wages. Like, let's be real, guys. And it's like, we don't mind paying the high wages, but you got to earn them. What's wrong with working for high wages? Like, I, as far as I'm aware, I'm working my ass off to get hella money at my job. Why can't these footballers do? They shouldn't be entitled to just earn a paycheck like immediately from the trot. There are other teams that will do that for you. Sure, go to those teams then. I feel like, you know, and we've complained in previous years about players that come to Chelsea to earn a check and they just get complacent. I mean, to an extent, we saw that with Raheem Sterling, or we felt that with Raheem Sterling, just to give you the latest example. And now we're trying to get him out of the club because he's been a flop, but he's on 300 or something, however much we signed him for a week, which is insane. But yeah, Scott, did you find what you were looking for?
No, I was having a look at their wages. Their wages aren't insane from the looks of things. Like, there's quite a few people on like 100k, up like 100 to 150, like anywhere between that. But their wages aren't, like, they don't look insane. So like, it must be their revenue is terrible. But I'd look, their revenue 23, 24, it's like 275 million. So this was 23, 24, which was up. And they posted their losses last season were less than their losses the year before, because obviously being in the Champions League. So I don't understand. Like, I straight up don't understand.
Yeah, it's just very confusing, which is why when it comes to the whole PSR aspect of the wages and the transfer fees that we're trying to pay and all this stuff, because I don't know PSR, because there's no handbook of PSR that I can read and understand, I can't tell you per tit for tat why Chelsea are moving the way they are in a transfer window. But that being said, let's move on to the next topic, which is, again, talking about, you know, let's heat things up a little bit. By the way, 144 of you guys, or give or take 147 of you guys watching, but there's only 52 likes, which is kind of disappointing. Like, that's a Mudryk-esque performance. Let's get those likes up, ladies and gents. You're coming in here, you're getting the news. We're gonna ramp it up and talk about the big headliners that you guys are waiting for. But in the meantime, also catching you up on some of the things that have been happening on our way to that. Big up, Ahmed, the Bridge Nation. And I will say, by the way, if you want daily updates, or for the most part daily updates, go to the Bridge Nation. He's streaming at least an hour and a half every single freaking other day about news. So he'll give you up to date, and I'll give you an hour podcast.
Apologize late. I was actually I had too much food, and I had to relax a little bit.
Food coma?
No, I wasn't in a food coma. It's like, I crashed out because my body was overworked. Then I went to dinner. The combination is not food coma. Food coma is when I eat too much. It was actually the opposite. But
okay, fair enough.
There was something that you spoke about. I think two things quickly. So no, one of them was about the Abramovich thing, which I wanted to speak about. Right. So I'm not really sure how stuff is going to be planning out there, because I don't understand. Because he, if I'm not mistaken, he himself also understood the story about what was going to happen with the money. If I'm not mistaken as well.
I believe so, yeah.
Right. So
I think he was the one that offered to have it be sent to humanitarian purposes.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So for me, I'm not sure what is going on there, right? Because I don't know how you can then take the government to court if you've agreed with them at the time, and that's still the process of which the government is trying to do stuff. That's the only thing I'm gonna say, at least with the Abramovich.
Sure.
That's what confuses me at the very least of him. The second thing about PSR, I'm really confused now more than ever about how PSR actually works. But at the same time, the only thing I can think about logically is that the way we operate in terms of what's the word I'm looking for? Like how we structure our deals before the loophole came in. Yeah, I think probably had a massive effect in the way we do stuff. And then I think B would probably be, I don't know about yourself, would probably be maybe the selling of these and maybe being in a profit because of the sales of these houses temporarily also.
It does help us. That definitely.
I would assume it has to be a combination of that and then a combination of like the way we operate in terms of transfers has probably sorted out stuff.
But you know what it is? No one cares because it doesn't win you a trophy. That's the thing.
I mean, it technically
cares.
should do. It should actually do. It's if you can sell 300 M's without even having to then balance books or anything like that. I mean, that technically should help you win a title realistically, bro. That's like you can probably make 3 insane signings if you wanted to. If you first say like 100 million M style type of players, if that makes sense, bro.
But you know what it is, Ahmed?
Say that. You won that debate.
That's not the right one. Who cares about winning trophies? Give me the money. Give me the money. Clear Lake Capital investors. They want their money.
Yeah, man.
And honestly, I was joking, but like that might be part of the reason what it is. Profit.
I mean,
the thing
I'm
is,
not deluded enough to think
what
that's
is-
all going to go back to the club, you know?
But the thing is, I mean, technically it is until 2032. We can then see what happens afterwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what we can only say.
Yeah.
Didn't they,
You know what I mean? But like
a big loss, not a big loss, but didn't they take still a loss, like obviously signing their sister club to themselves? They did that for a reason, to spend more money.
that
on
was
transfer
last
market,
season.
surely.
I think that was.
Yeah,
last
but that's
season,
still that includes to this season. That's why we've got like 300 million to spend. As
Because
well,
I
because
think
of
wasn't
all
it
that.
how much? Wasn't it around about 80 million that we lost last season, right? Because we sold. I think the loss was 80 million.
What was 80 million?
So somewhere in that range, right? So then, if you think about it, the only thing I can think about right now is that remember you have to be losing 105 million consistently over 3 years, correct? Isn't that the whole thing about it? So
you can't lose more than 105 million across.
That's what I'm saying to you. So maybe that 20 million we add that into the thing. You know what I mean? That's probably maybe the way it works. I don't know, but irregardless of that, man, is the game's the game, innit? The game's the game.
I mean, quite literally, the game is the game, and people, I think Premier League
It goes
clubs
to
are
show
starting
you, by
to.
the way. It just goes to show you, by the way, PSR genuinely might be bullshit. If Chelsea is finding ways to get 300 M's, it's killing the game, bro. I can't lie to you. I was shocked today, I'll be honest.
Sorry, Ahmed, what did you say again? What the game's the game? Because yesterday you were hesitant to say that when they were trolling Strasbourg. I'm just saying the Bridge Nation was scared to say
Yeah,
it. But
I was trolling.
but today,
PSR. We don't say about Strasbourg. I will never cook Strasbourg like that. You know what I mean? Man, them are doing too much on the Strasbourg takes. You know what I mean? The Strasbourg, yeah. Listen, don't worry, Strasbourg, man. You know what I mean? You've got my heart. I've got your heart. I've got sympathies for you.
Wait. What do you mean they have your
violate.
heart? You support another French team. What do you mean they have your? You're Mr. Rennes FC, weren't you?
Yeah, what the
You know,
fuck, bro?
and you know
You're
what's crazy?
Rennes.
And you know what's crazy about Rennes? We could have probably gotten their star left back to be covered for Kukurea, but instead he's going to Bournemouth. So that's another.
Yeah, we didn't want him.
You're gonna make me hate my own country because they're starting to seep into your personality. Now you're being Americanized. Player FC, Team FC. What's going on with you, bro? You were a Rennes fan through and through. Renato Sanchez, Malo. I don't know who else came from Rennes.
Renato
Leon.
Sanchez. Renato Sanchez was at Lyon and PSG, just to context.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
that guy
okay.
just a single player around. But regardless,
Bridge Nation,
bro.
you know what I mean? Bridge Nation, he's other teams FC, but the one he's always loyal to is the Chelsea Nation. That's the badge I'm always loyal to.
I feel like if we didn't make UCL this season, that wouldn't have lasted much longer.
Yeah, listen, it would have lasted because I'm not a glory hunter, sadly. That's the one thing I'm not, you know what I mean?
Sorry, what? You're not a glory hunter, but you're flip flopper though. You're Rennes and now Strasbourg has your heart.
You tell me what Rennes have won.
Strasbourg has
What has
your
Rennes won in recent history?
heart.
What has Strasbourg won in recent history? You know what I mean? I'm not glory hunting.
What has Strasbourg won? So why is
That's what I'm
Strasbourg in your
saying.
heart
I
now?
agree. That's the point I'm trying to say. I'm just here to watch good hoops. I'm here to watch good football. That's it. That's what I'm trying to do.
All right.
I watch your dumpster fest. You know what I mean? You of all people should know, Corey. I watch AC Milan for dumpster fest, and they've become even better for me. I get to watch them under my greatest manager of all time, my favorite manager of all time, the greatest talent of all time. He's greater than Conte. He's greater than Mourinho. My goat, Allegri. My goat, Allegri. They don't do it like my boy Allegri, man. They don't do them like my boy Allegri, man. That's all
Actually,
I'm saying.
facts. Actually, facts.
Guys, this is why you
facts.
don't trust his eye test.
Actually, facts.
This
is
is
why you don't trust his eye
that
test.
is the greatest super defensive coach I've seen. I could watch him for hours. I could study his games for hours, bro. It's amazing. It's sensational. You know what I mean?
Speaking of, I know he just got here, but speaking of Strasbourg, let's actually talk on Strasbourg real quick so we can get through the show and talk about the big news. Paez. So Scott, listen, you dug your heels in on this one. It started off as a rumor, and now it looks more and more to be happening. So let's get into it and read into it. So we have Le Baron Bleu that reported here, according to Blue Co Extra, that Kendry Paez was spotted by Liam Rosenier's squad in training pitch at Strasbourg. The session is part of his acclimatization process to Rosenier's coaching style and methods. Now, this was back in April, right? We fast forward. We're still in April. Never mind. Paez is currently training with Strasbourg, part of the pre-planned acclimatization process. Chelsea want Paez to learn different styles and cultures and to train with top level players. He has already made 2 visits to Cobham. Strasbourg is spell not yet an indication. I don't know. Strasbourg's spell? Okay, whatever. There's not yet an indication Paez will be sent on loan there. Still to be decided, but the initial plan is for Paez to be part of the Chelsea's Club World Cup squad. God damn. All right. And then fast forward to June 3rd. We have news that Paez is expected to go to Strasbourg and Matissa Mugu is going to join him. Other youngsters in line for a loan are Mark Guiu, Aaron Elsomino, and Mike Penders. A loan is also being seen as an option for David Dacho Fofana coming from Simon Johnson's Sport. So, I mean, Strasbourg, fanatic Bridge Nation, what do you think about Paez? Or pretty much already... without even seeing him in the Club World Cup, pretty much looks like he's gonna get the loan for Strasbourg anyways.
I think it's a good move for him. Ideally there'd be another guy that's in the team. I know people would still want him to stay at Chelsea, and the Brazilian winger called Estevao, I believe his name is. But Paez and Estevao, I would really ideally, I think, go to Strasbourg because again, it's a much better environment, a much more homely environment. Less pressure on you. The eyes are off of you. I've said this before. Yes, there may be eyes on you now because you're in the Conference League, etc., etc. But realistically, right? Again, you're going to be in a good environment. A man that's going to nurture you. You're in a league very similar to the Premier League, and this allows you to have a natural development, in my personal opinion. So I always say this is a much more ideal, bro. You know what I mean? I think Strasbourg is a much better place here to have here, where you can go before you come to Chelsea. If you're that type of player that we believe you are. Right, you can stay a season at Strasbourg, learn your trade, get acclimatized to a league similar to us, and then now it's time for you to rise up at Chelsea.
Mm-hmm. Are any of you guys against this move?
Can't think of a better place than Strasbourg. Really can't.
Yeah,
like you look at Santos and Petrovic, they had there's no better option for Paez to go to on loan. Like perfect option for me. So yeah, like he's 18. He's just turned 18 or something. So yeah,
he just turned 18. Yeah,
it's a big great.
Well, he's been 18, but now that he's 18 and our season's over, he can come in.
A top league as well.
Can I just put this out there? Big up to Pels. But Pels, what makes you think London is a homely city?
Huh?
Okay.
He's saying that Strasbourg is not a homely city, so I'm asking her what makes London a homely city? Because London's not a homely city. I'll tell you that for sure, man. This is rush hour central city, bro. You know what I mean? This is a city that's not legit sleep. You know what I mean? So the point I'm trying to make is that Strasbourg's a lot more of a smaller city, quieter. You're not gonna. There's no. Listen. You may be. It's almost like if you're in your local town.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'll talk about it a little more in the Santos section when we discuss Strasbourg as well. But that's coming up really quick. Let's go ahead and onto the next segment, which is going to be discussing Essugo. He's here. He's at Chelsea now. So let's go ahead and discuss it. Confirmation pretty much done. Chelsea is pleased to confirm the signing of Dario Essugo from Sporting CP. We continue on. Fabrizio Romano pretty much confirming it as well. Dario Essugo joins Chelsea with immediate effect from Sporting for 22.3 million euros transfer fee. Deal sealed in March and now announced from the Portuguese midfield contract valid valid until June 2033. Essugo, the assumed plan for Essugo is that he's going to join the first team, the first team squad straight away. He's not going to walk into the first 11. He's also, I believe, 22.
So is he actually going to be the part of the Chelsea squad?
Or 20. He's 20. He's 20. He's going to be part of the squad. He's supposedly a backup for Moises Caicedo. He is raw. He is. I will say he is still raw and he is still hot-headed. There was a few whatchamacallit. I actually am curious to look up how many yellow cards he's acquired in this past season.
Well,
it's probably up there. Go ahead, Chris.
It doesn't matter really if he's gonna be like backup, like him getting yellow cards. And probably, I don't know, it could be a good thing as well. Like coming on 80 minutes, so just get a foul, stop him attacking. But yeah,
I've done reading on
that went mad to me.
I've done some reading up on Essugo because I've been seeing Doyle Marshall's been doing a little light glaze on him, you know what I mean? The carrot sandwich. And I have to say, mate, I'm not really seeing it. I'll be honest with you. I'm not seeing it, bro.
What? Seeing what?
You know what I mean when I say I'm not seeing it, Marshall. I'm not seeing, I'm not seeing what people are seeing, what people think about him. Like, I'm not getting that picture that he's a good player.
Oh, his ability, okay.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the ability.
Because when you said I'm not seeing it, I thought you meant like you don't see how he's a similar profile to Caicedo.
No, I'm not seeing the ability there, man. I'll be honest.
Okay, he is a similar profile to Caicedo.
Not that he's not a similar profile to Process. I'm saying the level, like that potential.
I've been saying from the beginning, he's raw. He still needs to learn, but like. He's still a decent player. There's potential there. Also, you like to troll, so I'm not going to take you too seriously.
No, this is me being
7
honest.
yellow cards, and he's had 2 second yellows. So he's been sent off on a red twice and 2 second yellows.
My question I want to ask you.
He's also in a relegation team. Let's also be honest.
That's fair enough. But like my question for Essugo is that is it much more better for him to be going to maybe a Strasbourg to help him hone that potential that you believe? Because for me, I don't really see it, bro. I'll be honest, I don't see that ability. I don't see that talent.
No,
I think for me, I'm gonna bring a take here. I'm not like, but why not just keep Ugochukwu and just send this guy to Strasbourg? I'll be so real. He's got 1 year Premier League experience.
Everything you said there is exactly why I don't care about the transfer, because he's not going to be here in 2 years' time. Because, bro, like,
my God,
he's not. Go look at the way we've treated Ugochukwu, bro. Like, Ugochukwu played for a better team. Maybe he didn't play quite as much, but he was playing for a better team. Came in, had a year playing with the team. Obviously, didn't play actual on the pitch that much, but was training in and around the team. When they had a loan at a relegated team and was their best player, or one of their best players, in the Premier League, by the way. So we didn't have to go. We didn't get him from a different league, and we shipped him out, or we're shipping him out for this guy. So, like, I'm hoping he's good. Like, obviously, I want him to be good. But look at what we did with Leslie. And it was a similar sort of fee we paid. So I'm going to be honest. I could 100% see in 2 years' time, he's loaned out to some random team in Spain or Portugal, and then we sell him. And we're back to square one, and we're back here again.
I mean, it's quite hard to get into the midfield when you got Caicedo, Enzo, Lavia, and Santos. Like, we got a very good midfield, so I agree with you. He'd probably be sold in 2 years.
100% it is, but then that's why you don't really need to be spending 22.3 million euros on a fifth choice midfielder when you already have one that you spent 20-something million euros on 2 years ago.
So here's the way I see it. There's a possibility that Ugochukwu gets sold. He's going to be sold for a profit. And then you make up your money for that. Now, the thing is, I don't see a purpose in... If Ugochukwu is going to get sold, then I don't see a purpose of loaning out Essugo if he's going to be used as a backup. He's not going to get into the first team. He's not going to be rotational either like Santos. He's going to be used as a backup in case Moises Caicedo gets hurt. And that's directly what was said. As a Moises Caicedo backup, because his profile is similar to Moises Caicedo in a 6 that can roam up the field, and he's not as good at the passing ability. It's still raw, like he's young, he's developing, but why not develop with a Moises Caicedo who your profile is very similar to? That's the way I see it. Again, he's not going to get starting minutes. He might start here and again.
Yeah, but is that? But again, I come back to this question to you, Marshall. Is it better for a guy like him? You yourself are also mentioning that he's very, very raw.
No, because I don't want to come back to this conversation in January that we did, like, oh, where's our backup? Recall this, recall that. No.
No. I understand that. No. I understand.
Like, let's keep the depth.
No. I understand the argument. I understand the logic about depth, right? Yeah. But for me, if this guy is too raw for you, and he comes onto the pitch for me, for example, as my depth backup, and we start losing because this guy's not ready enough yet. He's not got the skills to pay the bills just right now, but he may have it in a year or two.
You're saying start losing?
Because potentially he may not be ready. He may not be ready for the moment, bro.
But he's not starting, Ahmed.
No. You didn't get my context. I said, let's say the depth situation comes into effect. That's what I'm talking about, Mark, right? Let's say hypothetically, obviously this did not happen. Hopefully, touch wood.
If Caicedo gets hurt.
Right, Caicedo gets hurt, and he has to step into this place, right? If as we believe him to be, as we know him to be a raw player, then I'll come back to this argument again that then he's more than likely to make a few mistakes, right?
I think so, but I also do believe that I think you can get away with a lot more in the Premier League in terms of physicality than you can in La Liga. Okay. So it could go into his favor because he is very aggressive. He's super aggressive, like very much Moises Caicedo-esque in how aggressive he challenges and how, he gets people off the ball. He's good at that. He's good at retaining the ball. He's good at tackling. It's just he had some iffy fouls when I did watch him that I'm like, okay, you refined that aspect of your game. I mean, to be fair, Moises Caicedo got away with a lot of fouls last season. If we're Chelsea fans, let's be honest. Moises Caicedo got away with a lot of fouls last season. And that's why you have people saying...
He also had a bunch where he was unfairly, he got yellow cards for stupid little fouls here and there.
Yeah, but Essugo is of that same... cut from that same cloth of, he's probably going to get away with a lot of fouls, but he's probably going to get himself in trouble for, going for ankles and shit like that because he mistimed a tackle. So that's why I'm as a backup to close out a game or something like that, give Moises Caicedo a little bit more rest because I think Moy is going to pretty much start every game as long as he's fit. And now that he has a backup, we can give him more minutes to rest. He can stay more fit. I think it's fine. But let me actually go on to the next thing that also could potentially be used as a backup, which is Andre Santos. Now, I don't think he's going to be a backup to Moises Caicedo. I think he's going to be more of a backup to Lavia or Enzo. But let's discuss it because there's been a lot of praise in regards to him. And if I don't have the tweets, I'll find them. So, breaking. Crystal Palace want to buy Brazilian star Andre Santos from Chelsea in a £20 million deal. This is from
Wait, there's no player involved in that?
This is from two weeks ago. Santos has the type of flair that Oliver Glasner wants in his attacking midfielders and has been a standout loan at the French side in Strasbourg. We continue on. So here we go. Andre Santos. Everyone knows about my love, my desire to play for Chelsea. Enzo Maresca was very sincere with me. I went to Strasbourg to get minutes. Now we'll see how it goes at the Club World Cup, according to Kieran Gill. We also say here, Andre Santos on support from Chelsea fans. The affection from Chelsea fans is something very special as well. Ever since the news broke that I was going to Chelsea, they started sending me a lot of messages. Back when I was when I was at Vasco too. And I had the spell at Nottingham where I didn't play, but they sent me messages there too. I'd see some posts. They've tagged me on Instagram and Twitter. So, I mean, essentially, he's pretty much committed to Chelsea. Everyone's saying he's going to get sold. I mean, time will tell. It's not too late for that to happen, but it's essentially written in stone that he's gonna stay. Not written in stone.
Palace ain't getting him.
Not for that much. Not for that much. He's worth, I think, a lot more than that.
He's worth
minimum
over 50
40.
easy.
Minimum 40. Okay, we will minimum 50 then. But here's another player that you could potentially use as a backup to Moises Caicedo. He's a complete
he's not even just
midfielder.
backup. I think he's just competition at this point. He's a great player. Say if a player starts underperforming, Enzo or Caicedo or whoever, he'd get in there, I think. And we got a lot of games where FA Cup, Champions League, Carabao Cup, the Club World Cup as well as to add to it. It's gonna be a lot of games to play. Injuries as well, happened.
I'm trying to find Ancelotti's quotes. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I found it. Literally on first attempt. Let me get it over here for you guys. Boom. Obviously, if you guys don't already know, a lot of these players are on international duty. So a lot of discussion happening with Brazilian camp and all this stuff. So Ancelotti came out and said, I see what everyone sees. Estevao is a player with extraordinary talent. He is very humble. I didn't know much about Andre Santos, but from what I saw this week, he is a complete midfielder. Sky is the limit for these two. So even Ancelotti, one of the greatest managers of all time, I respect his opinion when he says something about any player. And listen, he's coming out and saying that Estevao is a complete midfielder. So, not Estevao, I'm sorry, Santos. So I'm all for Santos. I'm really excited for him to come into the team and play. We haven't seen him in a long time since the... Did he... I don't think he was part of the preseason with Maresca. I think he went straight to Strasbourg. But the preseason with Poch, I believe he was there. And it was nice to watch him play. He was very calm. Still a little raw, but very calm on the ball. Like, his reading of the game was nice to see. And the leadership aspect, like he has honed leadership abilities that he's gotten from playing in, the Youth World Cup that he was a part of. Or it was the Under-21s World Cup. I forget which one. He's pretty much, he was a captain in that side. Or was it the Olympics? I can't remember. Do you remember, CP?
For what, sorry?
For Estevao when he won the...
You're not focusing the stream, man.
The world... He won the Under-21s World Cup, I believe. What was the competition he was in?
Santos did. Santos. Yeah, Santos did. Yeah, not Estevao. Yeah, Santos.
So yeah,
did.
he was a captain in that side.
Andre, I think he's still 16 or like 17 at that point. So I don't think it would be
Santos?
He was 17, I believe.
I'm talking about Estevao. I mentioned Estevao, that's why.
Estevao wasn't a part of that. Estevao was probably
still 16
or 15.
16.
Still last year, bro. Still last year, so he's 16, bro.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Estevao's 18 now.
Yeah, but it was only it was a season and a half ago, Marshall. It wasn't like it wasn't like 2 seasons.
The World Cup happened 3 years ago. The U21 World Cup. That was 3 years ago.
After our World Cup.
It happened 2 years ago. Yeah,
it happened 2 years ago. Happened 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Welcome. Hi, Marshall. No, it happened.
Wait, but I thought we acquired Santos while he was in the middle of that tournament.
Yes, but it was after. No. We got him before the tournament, bro.
Yeah, we got him before the tournament.
Oh.
We got it was Casadei that we got after the tournament, if you remember. It was Casadei we got after.
No, I think we got Casadei before the tournament as well.
We got both.
Oh,
before the tournament.
We got both before the tournament.
Yeah.
That's
where the Marshall hype
not starting.
Because that's where the Marshall hype job started happening. Is after Casadei was like winning that with Italy. So.
Yeah,
for under 18.
We'll see him cook next season. What team is he in again? I don't even remember.
Yeah, hold that.
Can I ask this? Can I just answer a question, Marshall? If you don't mind.
Go for it.
Killer AMC's comment. Can you just bring it up?
Where is it? Killer AMC. Oh, there's a fraud. He wants us to go on loan so he doesn't.
You wanted to just bring up your fraud?
I'm just gonna be honest with you, bro. By the way, K, I was one of the first people on this stream before even the summer that happened to say Madueke, it might be time to go. I told people last season this is Madueke's last season at the club.
Yeah.
So I don't really think that's true. So my analysis on Estevao is more so me trying to be actually thinking for the player more than anything else, bro. I don't want him next season, to be like if he comes on, and then people try to like start violating. I'm trying to give him a protective environment. I'm trying to protect him so we don't get a Mudryk situation where now his number 10's been snatched, and we know it's over. That. You know what I mean? You don't want that to happen, do we?
I'm glad you mentioned that. Speaking of number 10s,
there you
let's it's been a while since we talked about him, so let's bring him up. Let's do a recap on Mudryk. I was gonna say an update.
I never will
no
MC.
update.
I never will kill MC.
There's really no update on Mudryk. It's just mostly there's been some stuff that's come out in terms of what's going on that I am just gonna go over, and then we'll just move into the wingers section, which I'm sure you guys are gonna be more interested in talking about. Anyways, so Shakhtar Donetsk chief executive Sergei Palkin says Chelsea star Mikhailo Mudryk has passed a polygraph as he bids to clear his name from a doping ban sustained on international duty for Ukraine last November. We continue on. The CEO saying, in regards to the doping case, I have spoken to Mudryk many times since his doping issue arose. He doesn't understand how it could have happened. He has no clue, no idea at all. Then we continue on. Part of this tweet also saying this. So his lawyers organized for him to take a lie detector test, which he passed. It will form part of the evidence showing he didn't intentionally do anything wrong. Mudryk has been clear. It's not his fault that he tested positive. We now need to find out how this has happened and who did this. His lawyers are trying to find out. There are still no results from the B sample, which I think is bullshit. So that remains open. Nobody knows what's happened. I wish Mudryk all the best. He's a top professional and a very good person. He should be protected. Now, putting aside your opinions on the player, right?
It's a real good thing. Those polygraph tests are admissible in court.
That's what I was gonna say, Scott. Thank you. I was like, who gives a fuck? It's not admissible in the court. Who gives a fuck, bro?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
what does that mean?
That's what I was gonna say.
It's over.
It's flawed.
I mean, if it's
it's over, man. Like, bro, I honestly wish they just release all the thing because, bro, we know he's cooked. Like his career for the short term is cooked. Bro, learn gym, brother. Learn how to lift, brother. Like,
get ready
to learn PT, my friend.
But I'll read this real quick.
Well, how long will he be out for though? He's been out for like what?
We don't know. He's suspended until something comes out.
He's not even banned. He's only suspended. That's what's jokes.
Yeah.
He's going to be suspended.
I feel like he should be suspended until it's out of the system, like completely.
He could have just gotten the hearing, reduced it by 2 years. He could have been halfway through his fucking ban already, bro. What an idiot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know, but continuing on here, Chelsea considered whether they needed to bring the cover in for suspended Mikhailo Mudryk. They decided against it, with insiders saying Tariq George's progress played a part in their deliberations, which good for Tariq. Oh shit, let me continue on. And for those asking, Mikhailo Mudryk will receive a medal if Chelsea wins, though it's unknown he will collect. He basically got a medal for the Club World, not the Club World Cup. I'm sorry, he got a medal for Conference League. So, yeah, it's
have some decorum, mate.
Don't shut
me?
Up.
Nope.
Yes, he's saying you.
Okay, but yeah, his number is his number's been stripped of him. So. I think that's pretty much a sign that he's no longer gonna take part. I think, like I said before, if Chelsea have a chance to, jump out of the contract and terminate it without much repercussion or having to pay out the rest of it, so voiding the contract essentially, then do it because it's just not worth it anymore. I think. This was one of the players that they know flopped. They probably didn't see much. They probably didn't have much hope that he was going to turn it around. Took 3 seasons, still nothing.
Yeah, he's looking bad. He was looking bad this season
in Conference League.
Yeah, no, even in the Premier League.
He had some games where
when he came on the Premier League, there's some games he was looking better in like the last 2 seasons before that. But
yeah, I mean, but we need more consistency.
And he's not good enough
consistent enough. No, I get it. But Mudryk wasn't consistent enough, so it's fine. Like if he goes, that means we don't have to pay out the rest of that contract with the clauses, that stuff that have it. It was 60. I said 80. It was like 60 something.
Clauses anyway.
Yeah.
He was never hit any of those clauses anyway.
No, we have to win Champions League, Premier League, Ballon d'Or for one of them.
But I'm sure there was like a Champions League clause in there that we can void now. That's one less person we have to pay for Champions League, winning a trophy. Like there's probably some clauses in there that we actually did trigger. I'm sure it'll come out later on. But over 160 of you are currently watching. If you haven't done so already, smash up the like button because we're going to get into our first little headliner of today's show. And that's going to be saying goodbye to our friend, Jadon Sancho.
Greedy bastard.
Yes.
Finally.
You had, no. He had a good opportunity to play for
Wow,
that
you
team.
really.
No. This guy he's a suicide to his own progress. Like he's gonna go back to Man United and God knows where, because no one's gonna take him for 300k.
Yeah, let's go.
And he could have played Champions League football. He could play the team where he liked to.
He's on 250,000 pounds a week.
I don't know. He's on near 300k.
No, he wanted minimum 200k, Chris.
Okay.
That's what he wanted.
Well, that's still greedy, man. You
Yeah,
shouldn't be
he
a
is
more
still
Cole
good.
Palmer.
He should, yeah.
He's not that great. He's okay.
Yeah,
He's technical.
He's
Like, yeah.
He's 110 at best on a good.
He's like a João Felix.
No,
That's
a bit better.
insulting.
I don't know,
That's
just a bit
actually-
better. Like,
That's insulting.
no,
Oh
they're just
my
technical
days.
players. That's it. Like,
No,
they're just
I
good to look
agree
at.
with you. Like, João's like an 80k a week, and then Sancho's like a 100k a week.
Well, he should be on 80k a week.
Shout out to Skinny Troops, man. Hope you enjoy your time back. What do you mean? What is the troops?
Let me read these tweets. It's crucial hours for Chelsea and Jadon Sancho today, tomorrow. Let's say this week, Chelsea will make a decision on him. Get ready for the Jadon Sancho case. They're negotiating contract terms. This is from June 2nd. And then Ornstein dropped the bomba. Jadon Sancho leaving Chelsea when contract ends June 30th. Yeah, at the end of the, but it happened sooner actually. So, after agreement could not be reached over personal terms for loan to turn permanent, CFC will pay £5 million penalty to Man United, 25-year-old, to explore options in England and Europe for the next move. Worth noting that Chelsea did not pay an initial loan fee for Jadon Sancho, so the £5 million to send him back is only the same as Villa paying £5 million to loan Disasi or Juventus paying £5 million to take Vega on loan. Chelsea made an attempt to sign Sancho permanently, but terms with the player could not be agreed. 15 goal contributions, not spectacular, but not bad. And then Jadon Sancho coming out saying, grateful for the experience. Big love to everyone at Chelsea who made me feel at home. Teammates, staff, and the fans. Wishing the club all the best towards moving forward. Truly grateful. Thank you, Blues. And yeah, big up, Sancho. Thank you for some of the good goals you gave us.
Yeah, great goal against Tottenham.
Yeah, good goal in Conference League too in the final.
Yeah, final.
Yeah. Good goal against Tottenham.
He had some bangers, but
Yeah.
I don't know, man. He's clearly choosing money over football. That's
Well,
one. He's not happy at Man United, and he just wants to go back.
Chris, this is his last big payday. He knows.
Yeah,
he's
I know.
gonna get paid more.
I don't really care. Like, he's not like obviously like that amazing, but I thought he might choose Chelsea just because he actually enjoys playing at Chelsea. As
Yeah,
it
'cause
says.
he's probably, well, he's supposed to be Chelsea.
The
fan.
fact that
Oh,
both
yeah,
of
he
you
is a
said this
Chelsea
at the
fan.
same time.
Remember that? I remember this because when United were going through, he's probably Chelsea. You know what I'm saying?
Saying that to scamming.
Everyone was
Saying-
saying the same thing. Better
Like,
video than Mel.
say no to scam, Joe. I agree.
Yeah.
No, listen, man. Let's talk some real hoops now because for a guy that scored 4 goals, for a guy that scored 4 goals, 3 assists, yeah, to be starting his negotiating from 200k a week, yeah, how disrespectful. Have some self-respect, man. So have some respect for yourself, mate. You know what I mean? Who do you think you are, bro? To be asking for 200k a week when you've got 4 goals, 3 assists in the last day of the season? Your fellow winger counterpart is getting 3v1, yeah, and you've already got all that ain't on you.
What do you mean by that?
They don't even rate you like that, bro. You know what I mean? Listen, at Chelsea Football Club, we just do the scamming. We don't get scammed.
I mean, we did scam this.
That's why I said
much.
we do the scamming.
Well, I mean, we still paid him technically for it.
Are we not the same club that paid 45 million British pounds for João Felix?
Yeah.
No, I think his
All
thing
right,
was
Scott is sitting bench now, and he will no longer partake in. No, I'm just kidding.
Ahmed's point was, I think when it comes to
agenda, eh?
Manchester United. No, I think Ahmed is saying when it comes to Manchester
said
United,
you
Yes,
exactly.
exactly.
Scamming, they don't scam us. He's saying,
Oh yeah, fair. But we do
You
get
know,
scammed as well.
yeah. Listen, at the end of the day, chat, yeah, you know, and people here, man. I'm happy Scamcho is gone, man, because now that forces the club to actually buy some wingers, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't need scammers here, man. Say no to scamming. Say no to getting scammed. Nice little video, you scam. You know what I mean? The way people's heart was turned. Oh, let's give Sancho. Oh, he's got a goal to the Conference League final. Let's stay, brother. My heart was ice cold. It was in Somali. You know what I mean? You know what they call ice? You know what they call ice in Somali? butt off. I had the
Barf?
Wait, no. Wait, you know why, Ahmed? You know why, Ahmed? Because that's what we call it in Hindi too and Punjabi. So I guess. Okay.
Yes. You know what I mean? Ice cold. You know what I mean? I promise you, Bridge Nation, yeah, he's been thinking objectively these days. You know what I mean? And scammers do not. After Mudryk, we can't get scammed like that again.
True.
You know what I mean? João Felix, sadly, is a deal of the devil that we made. You know what I mean? That's the thing, Scott. Innit? We made a deal with the devil. We have to accept some.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
We made a deal.
No, we didn't.
The devil.
Hang on.
Yes,
Samu was literally right there, and they went no.
No. He's talking about the.
We made a deal with the devil with Jorge Mendes. That's the devil's Jorge
No,
Mendes.
you didn't have to do that. No, bro, you acting like we had to do that.
But that's what they did. That's not my problem.
No, they got scammed. They got scammed because they're idiots.
Yes, but they made a deal with the devil. They forgot they made a deal with the devil.
I just want to say, Ozempic should pay troops. So there's a before and after picture of troops with Ozempic, and that's who Jadon Sancho can be.
Listen, I'm not gonna violate.
What?
I'm not gonna violate Sancho like that. I'm not gonna violate Sancho that much.
I
like
am.
that. Listen, that's CP seeking. I'm just saying.
I have more things to say. I have more things to say because there's three people I hated at this club the most. In No Clue, okay, Z Tech Kaka, and then this man. Okay, this man is so scared.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyways,
I see it.
This man is so scared to shoot. I know for sure he's never gonna get a girl pregnant. He's so scared to shoot. I know he's not gonna get a girl pregnant.
I don't know how we got that far. How did we get this far? Come on, bro.
I'm serious. You know what? He should do an ad for like condom or something, directs whatever shit is fucking contraceptives, because this man is not gonna go straight up. Or actually the other way, because he's even if he goes raw, he's not getting a girl pregnant because he's too scared to shoot. This man is so scared to shoot, and when he does shoot, he actually does well, but he's just so scared to shoot. So yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna go that far. You know, I'm just gonna say, listen, I just didn't want to get scammed in it, and I think, listen, if the club was serious, there's a lot more better options in the market for us than Sancho, bro. And he's given us poor returns and 4 goals, 3 assists, bro. For a guy for spend 25 M's on him, we might as well just spend it on a risk, man. Who do we spend 25 M's on? Yeah, Andre Santos. Yeah, let's spend that, or Cassidy. They're worth that level of risk.
Mm.
You know, Madueke, we spent only like a little bit more, 5 million more, 10 million more in, and he's turned out all right. I'll be honest.
I agree with you. I don't think anyone else does, though. All right,
I don't care. You know, Marshall, when we took out
the silent majority.
Wait. It's my time to shine. The latest comment. João Felix is not better than the KDB of the conference. Don't even at me about this, okay? That fraud of a man. You see KDB showing up?
That's actually true.
Can't even lie. KDB of the conference. I don't care how techie you are. I'm sick of these techie players, man. Fuck off. Go to a fucking street corner. Fucking do whatever shit you need with the ball and panhandle.
Jesus. Yo, CP on violence today.
Yes. Because I remember these accounts PYS. Oh my god, the touch. Oh my god, the turn. Oh my god, guys. Oh my god. Oh my god. Fuck off.
What are you talking, man? You sound like Marshall there, man. Damn.
Yeah, no. Learn from the best. You know what I'm saying? Learn.
I mean, that's how you were glazing out Felix, Marshall, man.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. No,
you were glazing him, man. You were glazing him.
Yeah, you were glazing him, man.
You guys are full of it. You guys are full of it.
Nah,
lazy. Lazy. Too lazy.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Marshall was glazing him. Marshall was glazing him like how Trump and Elon were glazing each other, bro. 3 months ago. You know what I mean?
What?
Disrespectful.
Hey, hopefully there's hopefully not on Marshall, man. That's what I'm just asking.
Damn, that's a violation. Fuck. And you said I want.
And he knows what that word means now.
And
he knows what that means.
Oh my god, man!
It's not bad. You're lucky.
You're lucky. That could have been direct red. That could have been direct red. You started off real high. You went 2-footer on that one. You really went 2-footer on that one.
Good thing Marshall can't afford
sorry,
VAR.
Chad.
Good thing Marshall can't afford VAR.
Can't lie, Marshall. I think I need to return that one. Man.
Wait till next season. Wait till next season when we have VAR. Wait till next season when we have VAR. VAR incoming, people. VAR incoming. Anyways, let's move on to the next segment because Ahmed mentioned wingers. Let's talk wingers. So we have here some news in regards to the winger market, or some of the wingers we're going after, and then we're going to go after. We're going to talk specifically about one in particular. So here's a little bit of news in regards to the wingers and what we're doing. So June 1st, we had this list come out from Ben Jacobs, Alejandro Garnacho, Nico Williams, and Jamie Gittens, which are priority after Liam Delap. So looks like winger is the next thing that we are prioritizing. God, I hate this picture of him so much. Chelsea have been monitoring Alejandro Garnacho's situation, according to Ed Aarons. Napoli are early front runners, but Chelsea are monitoring Alejandro Garnacho, who's expected to cost £40 million this summer. Now, truth be told, in regards to Garnacho, because of what Aarons said, because it looks like he is being forced out of the club to an extent and told to find another club, I think him and his agent are very much trying desperately to put out news and interest to get someone to come from Garnacho. Now, we continue on. Winger targets. Gittens and Alejandro Garnacho are on their list of wingers. Rodrigo is not under consideration. We'll talk about Rodrigo soon. I got to find some tweets there. But we continue on. Aston Villa doesn't want to sell Morgan Rogers, even with a tight PSR position, but should he become available, Chelsea see him as an opportunity. Now, I know Morgan Rogers is a 10 normally, but he can be deputized in the left wing, left forward position, so I figured I'd add him in here to add to the discussion.
There's another one.
Nico Williams is another one that actually seemed to have sparked some interest. So I thought this was pretty much all rumors and wish-wash, but apparently there's some substance to it. So let's read here what Ben Jacobs has to say. Nico Williams has begun initial talks to renew his Atletico Bilbao contract. Parties discussing a salary pushing €10 million and release clause could increase should a deal be agreed. Not yet a guaranteed. Suitors like Arsenal and Chelsea see value in Williams' current €58 million release clause, and he remains on their radar. But overall cost of the transfer, wage and agent fees make it expensive. Atletico Bilbao hoping they can tie Williams down before an offer arrives. Really? Okay. Chelsea have informed Nico Williams' representatives they are prepared to trigger his release clause of £50 million. However, his high wage demands will present an issue, according to Simon Phillips. Now, it hasn't happened yet. Again, key word is prepared to trigger. So it hasn't necessarily been triggered. But, guys, do we think this is even a possibility? Nope. And how do we feel about, not Gittens yet. We'll talk about Gittens next. But how do we feel about the links to Garnacho? Do we think that they're valid? Do you think that it's agents? And Morgan Rogers, where we stand on all this?
Listen, I'm willing to talk about my winger stuff. Why is there someone called Armish Durag? I've never worn a Durag before.
Yeah, you have.
You have?
When have I worn?
I swear you have.
Yeah, you've worn durag
that's
before.
The white. That's the white.
Yeah.
Bro, and I just put on like this.
No, you've worn a black durag before.
Yeah,
I have never worn that black durag. I don't have a black durag, bro.
Okay.
Yes, you do.
No.
Where?
I'm not gonna double down on it.
I don't know.
I'm not even lying. I'm not seeing a trolling thing. I think you have once. I think one time.
Yeah, you've worn a durag before.
I have never worn a black durag.
Ahmed's durag. Get the clip. Get the clip.
Get the clip, please. Yeah.
Or the stream.
I don't know where
Someone get the clip in the stream. I know you've worn a durag before.
You've had a black one.
No, that's not a durag, but that's I'm fairly certain.
You know where your durag is? It's in the chat.
There we go. But listen, let's actually talk about Nico Williams. Yeah, I just pushed past. I don't want to violate, but
Bro, that's a crazy call. Jesus Christ.
Which one?
Oh my god.
The social distancing one?
Yeah. I just feel like
this one.
I feel like these headline jokes every time. Let's get older, man. You know what I mean?
Sure,
give it up, granddad. You know what I mean? Give up, grandpa.
Shout out to Oliver's alt.
You know what I mean? I just keep on getting these videos took my hairline every time. It doesn't affect me, bro. I've got a shit hairline.
No, you. People don't get to say this. I'm surprised you haven't made a shag and sheep joke yet.
Yeah, but the thing is, I always take on the chin. I don't mind you saying it. That's why I don't.
That's not the only thing you take on the chin. Pause.
I took that twice on the chin, motto. Double down on it now. Double down on it, bro. Double down.
That's for you and Scott. You both get a warning for that one.
But listen,
I deserve that. That was one of those, the cynical fouls when you pull them back on a corner. You're getting yellow.
Yeah, pretty much.
But you know what it is, yeah. Listen, I think Nico Williams, I think he's a good player. I think he's kind of like meandered a bit this season. He hasn't been as good as he was the season before. Obviously, I know people are gonna start hyping him up and glazing him up again. Excuse me, because of the goal that he scored, obviously, today. Against our potential new GK. And listen, I just think for me, when I look at him, I think he adds quality. But I think the question we need to ask ourselves when you look at a guy like a Nico Williams is, do we want a Nico Williams in the sense of like, because I feel like he's more of an assist man than a goal scoring person. Does that make sense? Like if you look at his numbers, he's always assisted way more.
Yeah, only that top striker for him,
right?
As well.
So for me, it's like, okay, if I'm bringing in Nico Williams, then Delap, Ekitike have to be the guys I'm bringing in alongside, right? In the sense that I'm hoping Delap is going to be there for him for every time I cross the board in there, or he's creating for Ekitike, right? Does that make sense? So that's the way I look at him, in my personal opinion. But I think for me,
what wages do you think he's even like? The thing is,
he's on right now. Does anyone know?
I think he's on like something like 202. I think he's on 200 million euros, 200,000 euros. My apologies, not million. 200k euros, right?
I thought he's like 250, but
no, it's 200. It's 200 euros, 200,000 euros right now, right? But they're offering, I think, not Atletico, Athletic Club offering 250k now as a new wage thing, in my personal opinion, if I'm not mistaken. And then for me, it becomes a case of the club doesn't do that thing anymore. You know the way the club's wage structure works right now. So unless he's willing to accept some level of bonus and stuff like that, then you're not going to be able to get a guy a guy like Nico Williams. Is that the only guy you want me to talk about, or is there any other ones I can talk about this one?
You could talk about Rodgers, or if you want, we can talk about this that I have right now.
I would ideally
go and get Rodgers.
I wouldn't get Rodgers. The thing about me, are you going to save the Kudus stuff for later, Marshall? Because I feel like the Kudus stuff, Kudus news.
I have Kudus stuff. Yeah, I have Kudus
because
stuff.
The thing for me, I actually would argue Kudus links a lot with everything that we're talking about now. I don't know if you want to go through him, bro.
So let me, because we're talking about wingers, I might as well bring this into it because it just broke out today while we were on the show. Rodrigo's situation, according to Ben Jacobs, right, remains one to watch this summer. Arsenal interest is genuine, but no approach yet. One of several options Andrea Berta is broadly considering. Other Premier League clubs also discussing back in May, including Chelsea and Liverpool, but no meaningful approach from either. Aware of the market opportunity, but have other priorities as it stands, such... Oh, God. CFC, aware of the market opportunity, but have other priorities as it stands, including Jamie Gittens. As long-standing Saudi interest in Rodrigo dating as far back as summer of 2023, as revealed, Real open to selling for 90 to 100 million euros package, but Rodrigo's side are for now solely focused on Xabi Alonso and understanding his plans. I hate this line. Like, this is where, like, surely if... Okay, so what's the news that broke out? Fabrizio broke out that Real Madrid are willing to sell Rodrigo. Is that what was touted? Trying to see if I can find something.
No, this was the breaking news, Marshall.
Okay, this is the breaking news.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like our name should be in the ring for this. Like, this should be one of the priority signings.
The problem is,
you see how the PSR is, and like, I don't know what the wages are, but I'm sure it's not an insane amount of wages. Like, I'm sure it's less than when Jadon Sancho's asking. All
right, so let's say, Marshall, 300 million is our current PSR, right? Let's say hypothetically, that's how much you can spend right now, yeah? And that's what the club's looking to spend. Now, right now, the club is trying to get Maignan, and hopefully that's going to be completed by tomorrow, if not Saturday, right? For 20 million, right? Pounds, basically, right? That's one player down. You then get Delap, which has got completed for around about 30 million, if I'm not mistaken. He's another.
He's on 240 million euros a week.
Let's keep
Rodrigo this. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So then Jamie Gittens is another one that the club is targeting. He's probably gonna go for. I'm probably gonna say 40 million. So you got 40 plus 30. plus 20. That's around about 90 million right now so far. Then that's not including Ekitike. Then that's not including also Ekitike, where the club is really close. The club is really close to completing, which is probably going to go for somewhere around about the 70 million range, in my personal opinion. So you got, 70 plus 80, was it? So 150 million. So you've basically spent half your budget already right now, realistically, with all those players. That's not including, ideally, us needing to bring in centre backs, right? And also us ideally also bringing in the winger. Now, I think you've got the money there to spend for the winger, in my personal opinion, right? You got the money there to spend for the winger, but then the question becomes, you're probably gonna have to wait to make some sales to bring in a centre back, right?
Sorry, Ahmed, how'd you get 80 million on the first one? Because it's 30 for Delap and then 25 for Maignan, right? And
I said it was 20. I said 20. I said we were trying to get 20 for him. So I'm
just make sure you guys are talking the same currency as well.
I'm always saying pounds. I'm always talking about. Whenever I talk, I'm talking pounds. So I said 20 plus 30, and I think I said 40 million was probably going to be what we get for Gittens. So unless maybe I missed about like a 10 or 20 million. Maybe I made a mistake.
You couldn't get in. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Right. So because I think Gittens is probably good. We're gonna bring in 2 wingers in my personal opinion. That's my current feeling.
You're getting Gittens.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go for 2.
I think Gittens is the guarantee, and I think Gittens. The thing with the whole Rodrigo thing,
Gittens is a guarantee.
Yeah, there's two things. With
I got a section on Gittens next. Let's do it on Rodrigo. Go ahead, Scott.
I mean, there's 2 things with the Rodrigo thing for me. Number one, if we're just talking about Gittens, I think that's a guarantee, and I think that's getting done before the Club World Cup. Because I think this Rodrigo thing is not getting done before the Club World Cup. I think that's a guarantee.
Sure. Yeah.
So the club is trying to get 1 winger done, especially with all the Mudryk stuff that's going on. We don't know what's going on with our wingers in general. If you're just looking at 1 in, 1 out kind of policy, we just got rid of 1 winger, even though it wasn't ours, but we just got rid of 1 winger. We get another winger in. Like it's a 1 in, 1 out. You're not really changing anything in the squad in terms of dynamics or numbers, whatever. The other thing about the Rodrigo thing, and I keep coming back to this, is I don't think he ever leaves them until he wants to leave. Like, I don't see any reason why he'd want to.
Yeah, you're right.
It's not like Real Madrid are pushing him out. Like, they've just said they're open to him leaving, which, like, there's very few players in that Real Madrid team. They're kind of like City in a way, where it's like there's very few players who are actually untouchable. Like, almost everyone in that Real Madrid team has a price. It's just no one's willing to pay the prices they want. So, like, no one is willing to pay the €100 million euros at the moment, at least, for Rodrigo. Also, because as I said, I don't think there's any desire from his end to want to leave. So even if we had the money, even if we were willing to pay him the wages, I don't think there's any desire from him to leave anytime soon. Especially because apparently he already had a conversation with Xabi Alonso and it went really well. So if that's the case, there's even less reason or even less desire from his end to leave. At least at this point, like January might be different. Next summer might be different because at that point, obviously, he'll have had a season. We'll be able to see how they're going to play under Alonso, like what the plan is going to be. But this summer, I don't think there's any chance of him leaving. For me personally,
yeah, I just think for me, like there's a lot of guys who are linked to right now. Like Morgan Rogers, for example. I think his deal is going to be going past the Club World Cup. His interval was until July the 1st, in my personal opinion. So that's basically the end of the month because of the PSR stuff, right? So that's the interval you're working with, to try to bring in a guy like him. Kudus is another one, right? Which is he's also in a similar range, right? In terms of like what you're trying to do, what you're trying to get, right? Who's another winger that we talk about? Gittens that we've already spoken about. Garnacho, I actually think he's already off the table, bro.
I hope so.
Yeah, he's already off the table. I generally think he's off the table already. Like if he was on the table, we would have known it quite a long while ago, right? In my personal opinion, because his deal generally might be the quickest to do. Out of all the players, he'd probably.
United would be so quick to sell him.
Exactly. So like his deal would be bish bash bong. He's all done for you, right? So I think with Rodrigo, I'm gonna be honest with you, Marshall. The reality is right now, unless you are willing to break your wage structure, he's not coming to the club, bro.
Apparently, though, I will say there was a report that said he is one of 3 players or 4 players they are willing to break the wage structure for.
Yeah, listen, man, I'm personally gonna have to see it to believe it before.
No, I agree.
I don't blame you for that.
I do agree, but I will say there is at least some evidence. Is a strong word to say, but there is some
The thing
seemingly
is for
like
me,
there's
can I give
some scope behind that.
I think the other thing for me, is that the club, they like to work with data. So if you look at the risk and reward situation, right, the risk you're gonna take with a guy like a Rodrigo, percentage-wise, how much do you think that would be? Like with the potential you're gonna give him, do you think it's gonna be an automatic hit on that left wing for you? Yeah, to help you really compete this season for a title, for example. Or no. What is that? What? How would do you think they would assert that risk, excluding our own personal opinions, by the way?
I think they look at the data, but I don't know what the data says because I don't look at.
That's why.
I haven't seen his data.
Because for me, that's probably what you want to be looking at, right? Because he's done a great job already. Like for me, I'm talking about myself, Rich Nation. Yeah, that's why I'm bringing myself back into it. Yeah, you know what I mean. If we talk about this from the right wing perspective, right? When he's been playing predominantly for Real Madrid, even though it's predominantly right, he's been a consistently good player. Like let's not get it twisted.
Well, okay. Before I bring my opinion into this, let's actually, for the sake of moving into the other topics, let's bring Gittens into this discussion. So, a bit of Gittens news. I'm gonna also incorporate a little bit Borussia Dortmund news and rumors we've heard. Not much has really come from one of them, but you'll see when we get to that. So, got a bit to read here, so bear with me, ladies and gents. Borussia Dortmund considering another loan deal for Carney Chukwuemeka. There are two possible scenarios. They could try to lower the price in direct talks. However, it's unclear whether Chelsea will cooperate. Borussia Dortmund will open talks with Chelsea to keep Carney Chukwuemeka also next season. Deal conditions to be discussed again, but Borussia Dortmund want to try to keep Carney at the club after 6-month loan, which this could go in tandem with the Gittens deal. So that's why I bring it up. Same thing with this one. Gregor Colbell's agent is heading to London to talk to Chelsea and Newcastle, according to Santos JFM. This was at the end of April that this was released. I held on to it just in case anything, but nothing really came of it. Chelsea's aim is to still pick a new number one from Robert Sanchez, Jorgensen, Petrovic, and Penders. Linked to Dortmund's Gregor Colbell wide off the mark, according to Ben Jacobs. I wouldn't say these links are dead now. It still could potentially happen. We don't know. I think we're trying to use Carney as leverage in the deal. I wouldn't be surprised if we are. On top of it as well, we don't know if Maignan is going to go through, but I would think I would prefer Maignan over Colbell, but that's besides the point. So getting to Gittens. Chelsea have tracked Jamie Bino Gittens and are monitoring development around Nico Williams. It felt that Williams could be too expensive. This was released the end of May. So in April, we also heard that Jamie Gittens is super appreciated by Chelsea and he's on the list. There is a concrete chance for Jamie Gittens to leave Dortmund this summer. Liverpool are also monitoring the player. Also from April, Chelsea has now signaled concrete interest in Jamie Gittens. They are already in talks and the player's representative to explore prospects of a potential transfer. It looks like this is more likely to happen since the links have been happening since April. So again, from Burger PJ, this is the link that kind of broke the story. Chelsea are in contact with Gittens' camp and have offered him 7 to 6 million euros a year, doubling his current salary. Dortmund requests 42 to 50 million pounds. Reports on Chelsea being close to signing Jamie Gittens are slightly premature, but the Blues are definitely interested in the youngster born and raised in Reading. So fast forward to June, we have here exclusive from Mike McGrath. Chelsea are in talks with Borussia Dortmund over Jamie Gittens and want to wrap up the deal before both clubs go to the Club World Cup. England's under-21 winger who spent his time in Chelsea Academy. Oh, I didn't know that. As a child, has been expected to attract bids of more than 50 million pounds with a release clause of around that value in his contract. Continuing on, Chelsea want to sign one more winger, with Chelsea loving Jamie Gittens, but there is more options. Jamie Gittens is currently being chased by Chelsea before the Club World Cup gets going in the United States. Chelsea are weighing up a bid for Jamie Gittens after holding talks with Borussia Dortmund. He's expected to cost around 50 million pounds and is one of several names of interest to the club as they look to bring in a new wide player before heading into the Club World Cup. Negotiations for Gittens are going well. A first bid expected soon, more than 30 million pounds with a little bonus to try to reach an agreement with Dortmund, according to Fabrizio Romano. And I already got ahead of myself. So there we go. Pretty much looks like we went in with a bid 2 days ago, 30 million pounds for the player. Now, in terms of the Rodrigo thing, I will say this. Since since it seems that Osimhen's off the table, time will tell. We have gotten a bit of an update in Osimhen, which I'll include in the segment we're talking about in a bit. And it seems that there's no interest for Gyokeres. I still think, and this is where I stand. I have been saying this over and over again, and I'm staying consistent to it. If you're not going to get a goal scoring striker, right? If you're not going to get that proven striker, then get me goal scoring wingers. Don't get me creative wingers for someone who is not going to be the out and out number 9 that's going to get you goals, the proven number 9. Delap could be that, but I don't know. I'm not trying to risk it, especially when I want to challenge for the league and I want to go far in the UCL, right? If you're not going to go for Osimhen, or I don't rate Gyokeres like that. I don't know if he's going to work out in the Prem, but just for the sake of this hypothetical, if you're not going to go for Gyokeres, right, the proven strikers, then go for Rodrigo. Like, you should invest that funds that you were going to put into those strikers into Rodrigo. Get me the goal-scoring wingers. And Rodrigo is a goal-scoring winger. Now, his wage is a little high, but you can give him a little higher than that, or you can work up some bonuses and incentives where it can work out. It can work out. And on top of it, it's not like he's 27, 28. He's 24. You give him 5 for whatever amount contract you want, to the where you set it up so that you could potentially sell him on in the future. So I think there's a lot of value in Rodrigo on top of the value that he's gonna, be worth when you acquire him to the club. It might not be much profit, but if you're thinking in the profit end of things, then there is a player that if you give him the right contract length, you could potentially sell him in the future for the same amount, if not more, depending on how it works out in the Premier League. And considering he's going to be getting starting minutes for Chelsea, not going to be a rotational like he has been in Real Madrid, the out-and-out starter, he's going to get you goals, he's going to get you assists, I think his value goes up. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. I'd rather go for Rodrigo over Gittens since Osimhen and Gyokeres are off the table. Or at least it seems to be.
I don't want to go for Gyokeres though. So ideally, it doesn't matter either way.
But I'm just saying, in the hypothetical, these are the proven goal scorers, right? That everyone's talking about.
The thing for me is that I'm gonna say something that's gonna maybe brush every little fans the wrong way.
Okay.
Listen, La Liga is a good league. Nothing to say. I watch La Liga. I enjoy it thoroughly, but there is a difference between La Liga and the Premier League too. Like if we're trying to be as objective as we can be. Right, and so is he going to be able to handle that physicality? The temperature difference is going to be a bit more starker if you're being fair as well. All of those other stuff, bro. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be coming into that. I'm talking about everything, man. The PMP, you know what I mean?
The player.
Rodrigo. So much in it. Because that's what we're talking about. So that's a lot of questions, man. There's a lot of question marks there, bro. So. I sometimes, bro, there's a term that I like to use, man. Sometimes the best method of attack is getting guys within your own league. I hate to put it like that, but ideally, it helps you out. They've been in the league longer. They have the necessary experience, and they help you out here a lot more. And you know what? For me, for me personally. That's probably why I don't think Rodrigo's going to happen.
Okay. I mean, Scott, how do you feel about the whole situation? I don't know if you heard my whole explanation as to why I'd rather go for Rodrigo at this point.
I mean, I want Rodrigo over Gittens. I just don't rate Gittens that highly. I don't really expect anything from him when he gets here. I'd love to be proved wrong. I'm going to wait and see what happens. At the end of the day, my feelings with everything, my feelings with any player that we get is, especially this season, is you need to perform immediately. There's no waiting, there's no time. You don't get time. You need to perform, because we weren't willing to give time to some of the other players we had in this squad, despite them being young. So these guys don't get time. He needs to be better than what we have immediately. If he's not, then what the fuck's the point? That's the way I look at it. Like, yeah, he just has to perform. Like I said, I don't rate him, but I want him to prove me wrong. So if he proves me wrong and performs, fantastic. Like, I would love nothing more. But I'm not holding my breath.
Chris, Curry Pirate, any thoughts? Gittens, closing in on that. Maybe spending more time on trying to get Rodrigo since we're not going to get the proven striker.
Rodrigo.
Even then, like, I would even say, like, Ekitike. Like, if you're not going to get Ekitike, then get Rodrigo.
I just don't think Rodrigo can be available for us. That's what, honestly, my thing is. If he's available, go for it. Splash the cash. He's the closest thing we can get to proven on the wing list anyways. So spend the money, I would say, regardless. But if not, I'm kind of fine with Ahmed's situation. No, spend money in the league. So Gittens, no thank you. Other person you might be talking about soon, Kudus.
Yeah,
we'll there we land, here we go, all that stuff. I'm there for that.
Yeah, I just think for me, I think the problem with Rodrigo, is that the cost is gonna be quite high, Marshall. It's gonna cost you a real amount of money, and when you have other,
but again, it's not that far off from what we're.
It's not that I don't want him.
We're asking for Ekitike.
The problem for me is that it's a difference between what you want, right? If you want someone, and then thinking about it from a natural standpoint, the way the club works and stuff like that, Ekitike, what they'll probably be seeing as a guy that's about to hit his, soon hit his potential, that's going to be at the club for the next 6 years. Same with some of these other guys. Rodrigo can be in that frame, but I think the total packaging is what you need to look at, bro. The wages, the value that you have to give to Real Madrid, then the agent fees. Yeah, everything combined, bro. He's probably going to be worth more than what you bought Enzo and Caicedo for. Separately, of course. I'm not saying together.
That doesn't seem like it is the case. Based off that tweet I just read.
Marshall, if he's on 100, let's look at it like this, yeah. I probably think you probably would get him for around about 100 million euros. That's around the 80 million range. Okay?
Sure.
80 million, his wages are going to be upwards of either 250 to 300k a week. I would probably say, right?
We can still do under 300k with him, I believe.
Either way, it's listen. I don't know.
He's currently
if he can.
at 240.
Yes, again,
so
Marshall,
then he's going to want an increase.
I was to say, not even that. You are asking him to leave the biggest club in the world to come to play for Chelsea.
Yes.
Like, respectfully to all Chelsea fans, there is nothing appealing outside of maybe living in London. But I'm gonna be real, living in Madrid is just better. There is nothing appealing about leaving Real Madrid to come play for Chelsea unless you're getting more money, and I would say significantly more money.
Yes, as revealed, Real open to selling for a 90 to 100 million euro package.
So I'm saying, so that's the thing.
That's in euro.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I said 80 million.
And Ekitike is around 80 something.
Yeah, but you're trying to get
you're
down.
looking at Ekitike.
I agree. No. You're not getting my point. I agree with you, but we also need to look at the business that is being done now by the club to get stuff done, right?
The resale value.
Yes, the resale value.
You can.
The wages
He's 24. You can resell him.
No. You're not getting it. I'm saying Ekitike is like advanced right now. I understand you compare it to Ekitike, but Ekitike for them, I think it's a different deal to what a Rodrigo deal would be, right? Rodrigo is the blockbuster deal. Does that make sense? He's a blockbuster deal. He's the guy that you can bank on. You want to be paying him 300k a week. 300k a week. Alexa, what's 300,000 times by 52? Alexa doesn't want to work right now. I need him. Oh well, let me just actually. Alexa, what's
every time you ask for
times by 52?
Oh, 52. I thought you said 2.
52 is 15.6 million.
All right. So that's Alexa, 15.6 million times by 6.
15.6 million times 6 is 93.6 million.
All right. So you got 93.6 million in wages plus the 80 million that you're gonna pay him. Yeah, that is, as I said before, more than the total package separately of your other two guys that you're trying to get. Remember, Enzo Fernandez this season was only on 8k a week or something on that range. Because remember, we didn't have UCL football in the season, right? Same with Caicedo, probably was in a lot less, in my personal opinion, right?
Yeah.
Because of the wages he's on. So this is the point I'm trying to make, bro. That all of that together, bro, is gonna cost you a big chunk of money, right? And again, no centre backs have come in. Haven't gone in for your centre backs yet that you need to get into, right? You the left wing market, yeah. There may be better attractive opportunities. Like if we're listen, I know I'm not a big fan of him, right? But Kudus, for example, right? Kudus, you could do a player swap deal, Marshall, and still keep your money and buy yourself a Gittens too. For the price of one, right? Because that's what West Ham's asking for allegedly, right? I look at Morgan, and then I look at Morgan Rogers. Oh, I can give you João Felix. I know you love João Felix at Aston Villa. Here's João Felix. You give us Morgan Rogers, and we'll give you a little bit of cash to help you with PSR. Situation solved.
You know, with West Ham, we're gonna have to give them still money for Kudus. Sanchez is worth like what?
But you're not getting the point, Chris. The point I'm trying to make to you.
Those are the targets. Yeah.
Right, those are the targets. We are being offered some of these guys. Some of these guys are even twerking for us. I don't know if you see him more. He's twerking for us differently, bro. Like liking posts. Yeah, he's been liking a lot of Chelsea posts and stuff like that. So he's twerking as well. All right, so there's ways to get these other guys in where you can do swap deals plus cash. That's the point I'm trying to make, Marshall. And
I get that.
Financially,
that's why we were talking about Enzo Fernandez over there, and if you get Rodrigo, I remember we were mentioning that. Let's since you brought up Kudus, let's bring up Kudus right now. So breaking.
That's a man of a highlight right there, boys. I respect that guy.
Don't do this. Anyways, breaking. Chelsea are among clubs keen on West Ham's Mohamed Kudus, who has an £85 million release clause for Premier League clubs active for the first 10 days of July. Breaking. West Ham have rejected a player plus cash deal from Chelsea for Mohamed Kudus, TalkSports understands. Chelsea are willing to offer the likes of Robert Sanchez and Keenan, technically. I learned that the other day. Keenan Dewsbury Hall in exchange for the Ghana international. Chelsea were willing to offer the likes of Robert Sanchez and Keenan Dewsbury Hall. West Ham have rejected the approach. Chelsea tried to offer players as part of the deal. West Ham liked, but the response was that they would prefer a high cash bid, according to West Ham ex-employee or the ex-West Ham employee, which is a pretty reliable source. And let me see what else here. I have two more. Chelsea have been offered the chance to sign Mohamed Kudus and have not said no at this stage and are considering whether to add him to list of targets. During discussion, they did discuss Robert Sanchez, and they have engaged in early discussions with Mohamed Kudus, who is keen to leave, especially for the club that can offer UCL football, according to Sami Makbel. And listen, we've been in for Kudus for a while now. Like we were trying to get Kudus done. 2 years ago when we were in a race to get Palmer. Didn't work out. We ended up getting Palmer. Hey, we could potentially get both. I'll start with you, Chris. Your thoughts on Mohamed Kudus? I think you like him.
I really wanted him 2 years ago, but I don't know who else we can throw at him. Is there any other players we can throw at West Ham? Because 85 million.
Hey, what Robert Sanchez, Chris?
Yeah, Robert Sanchez. Yeah, but he's not enough, man. And even we just tried.
Graham another one that they're looking at.
What about Felix too, man? Can we throw in Felix too?
But think about it, Chris. You keep throwing Keenan Dewsbury, you throw in Robert Sanchez. That's like a good 40 million off there. What, paying the 45 million?
What about Felix, man? Let's sweeten the deal.
No, I don't think they want Felix.
Sorry. We're assuming that either of those players are to them what they already have, which they're not.
No, but I feel like either way you can get someone.
I don't know if they want to do Dewsbury Hall, but maybe they get a different, Felix would be like an attacker.
I could see Graham Potter wanting Robert Sanchez, but it doesn't make sense because they have Areola.
I mean, he'd be good backup.
But Areola's been really poor this season, bro.
He's still not better than Areola.
Oh yeah.
Wait, you don't think? I'm sorry. Did you said? Do you think Areola's better than? No. Do you think Sanchez is better than Areola? Did I hear that correctly?
Who said that?
Scott?
No. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Of course, Areola is better than Sanchez.
Yeah.
But I think the thing is, Areola's had a really poor season. They've also just lost Chesney too, right? So they probably just want to bring a bit more competition.
Wrong Polish keeper, mate.
Right. Oh, give him Sterling. Yeah, hey, they can take
Sterling. What is that what it is?
It was Fabianski, wasn't it?
Yeah, sorry, mate. You know how it's going. You know how it's going, man. Go on.
I never really noticed, but he had a great season this season. I haven't really seen too much of him this season.
Kudus?
Yeah.
Not really.
No, he's
compared
to
last
season,
with
the rest of them though. It's not just him.
I know it's West Ham, but that's the thing.
He has spent most of the season playing left wing, to be fair.
Yeah.
Has he? Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
and we're looking for a left winger. Yeah, man.
He's not a left winger. He's more of a 10 or right winger.
Yeah. So for me, listen, Bridge Nation is gonna be a bit objective here. I like Kudus, but I think he's had a poor season. Realistically, do I think he can work for us? I think there's a chance that he can work for us at the end of the day. But I think I question
£85 million transfer fee or release
but
clause.
for 85 million, I don't
That's
think
where
so.
it's
though.
like, yeah, I feel like.
That's why.
Listen,
that's what I'm saying.
I like the player. I do think he would kill it at Chelsea. But on the other hand, too, it's like, where? Like I'm gonna do the Scottism, which is.
But then if you think about it, bro, you know what I mean? If you think about it, though, if the rumors of Nonzinho leaving the club is true, right? Then you lose Nonzinho, you bring in a guy like Kudus. You know what I mean? That's maybe the way
that makes sense.
I think that's
he's an improvement on what we have already, but we're just never paying that fee. Like
that is a steep fee. Do you feel like we should pay the fee, Scott?
No, not.
And you know what
his
maximum
5 million? Like you would need to include a player, 100%. But there's like the list of players I think that would interest them from Chelsea in terms of we'd be willing to get rid of. Obviously, like I think you could probably count those on one hand. Like, unless they're wanting like a younger keeper, you could maybe try and sell him Jorgensen. I know Ariola's had a bad season, but I still think he's a good keeper. Defensively,
we got Disasi.
Great.
Disasi's going to Newcastle, man. Respect Disasi.
You know what, Scott? You can give him Benoit Badiashile. He was pretty decent under Graham
Give him
Potter.
both, man. Give him both.
Badiashile maybe actually that's not a bad shout. Midfield, you could give him Dewsbury Hall. I don't know if he starts over any. I know that if he starts,
There's a bunch of rejects, man, to give him.
Yeah, but I just don't know, man. Like, I just don't know who we can give. Like, I'd 100% take Kudus if he's available for a good price. I'm not paying 85 million for him. Not.
I would say Kudus is worth like 50 to 60. I would be happy.
I think he's definitely worth 60 M's. That's probably what I'd put him.
Yeah, like that's where I put him.
Because if Madueke is worth that much, if Madueke can get sold for about the 60 M range, I think Kudus is in that similar range as well. My personal.
No, definitely.
That's a poor season.
They're saying you should go to West Ham so we can get Kudus.
You know, you know what it is, Marlon. You know what it is, Marlon. Go fuck yourself, mate. You know what I mean? You know, how about the badge? You know what I mean? How about that? Go back the badge, mate. You know what I mean? I'm giving you honesty, man. You know, Kudus, yeah. You know, he's not gonna. Listen, he's only got 5 goals. Madueke's got more goals than him. You know what I mean? Mudryk got the same amount of goals as him the season before. So what are we saying now, buddy?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I thought you backed your club, bro. I thought you loved the club. You'd make sacrifices for the club.
No, I'm
yes, but my sacrifice is not for Kudus. Sadly, he's not worth it. It's not worth it, man.
Carney barely ever played under Potter.
I forgot about Carney, man.
We forgot about Carney when Potter was here. That's
where is it?
Carney is coming back from Dortmund.
Oh yeah.
Chris, you're doing nasty work, man. You know,
no, honestly, I forgot about
Carney. I don't think Graham Potter rated Carney. He never played under him. Maybe like 1 game or 2. So no,
it was like maybe 5 or so.
No. Pochettino, he had more minutes under Pochettino injured than he did under Graham Potter.
I remember that goal we scored against, what was it, West Ham?
That was a great goal.
Yeah, that was a great goal.
Yeah. So he didn't play at all under Graham Potter. But Ahmed did bring up the goalkeeper situation. I mean, we were talking about Robert Sanchez and all of this. So let's actually get some news on the goalkeeper situation before we talk about the big hitter, which is Maignan. So starting off here, the first topic, or the first part of this topic is breaking. There have been, this is from May, at the end of May, there have been indications that Chelsea could try to sign a new goalkeeper. Rival clubs believe that Chelsea could be tempted to sell their current number 1, Sanchez, according to Jacob Steinberg. Now, this is coming after multiple bits of news that we were told that Chelsea are not interested in a goalkeeper, this and that. CP, you remember, you were telling me backstage all this news about, all this bullshit about Chelsea don't want a goalkeeper this, don't want a goalkeeper that. All of a sudden, now we are in the market for a goalkeeper. We'll talk about that goalkeeper. But yeah, and here we go. Actually, funny enough, from Ben Jacobs, no movement on the Chelsea goalkeeper. They will first pick a number 1 from Sanchez, Petrovic, Jorgensen, and Penders. Club World Cup likely to be a key period to judge all 4. Penders is viewed as Premier League ready, but due to his age, he could still be loaned out at first. Could be a loan to Strasbourg.
Such a ridiculous take, by the way. That is generally a ridiculous take, by the way.
What? Oh, that he could be.
That he's perm ready at 19. It's actually a ridiculous take.
No, it's not the 19 thing. Ahmed, he's played. So he played 11 games in the league phase, the first league phase of the Belgian league. I think he played all of the games in the the second phase once they went to the playoffs, which they lost like 5. I think they played 10 and lost 5.
Bloody hell, mate!
Like they were first in the first the Belgian league's weird. They have like 2 phases. In the first phase, they were first. They bottled it in the second, while he was number 1 goalkeeper. I'm not saying that's down to him necessarily, but I'm not playing a keeper, regardless of whether he's 19, 30, 100. If he played 11 games across a league season,
I think it's safe to say that even if we don't get Maignan, it's gonna be Petrovic that's clear of him. But we continue on. Speaking on Petrovic, the Guardian Sport, not sure how reliable this is. So
this is Jacob Steinberg. Anytime you see the Guardian Sport, it's Jacob Steinberg, by the way. Just to make it clear. I don't know why they're scared to say his name. Like, what's going on? Like,
somewhat reliable then. Robert Sanchez and Georgi Petrovic are on the market for clubs looking for new goalkeepers. Sanchez is actually Chelsea are looking to sell Sanchez. So yeah, there's that. Georgi Petrovic, according to Ben Jacobs, return to Chelsea comes with a pay rise, but he is also believed to have a release clause as part of his new deal, allowing him to take an exit. And as well as this, we'll talk about Maignan very shortly, as well as asking Milan about the signing of Maignan. Chelsea have inquired about Burnley's James Trafford, according to Jacob Steinberg.
Hey,
so
get Joe Shields out this. Have you seen the news today, Marshall? By the way, who we've been linked with at centre back?
I know Scott's crashing out.
Bro, hold on. We got linked with City Academy grad Taylor Harwood-Bellis from Southampton. Like, it was cool when you did it a couple times. It was cool when you did it a couple times with Palmer and Lavia. Bro, is your entire fucking contact list just ex-academy players from City?
I mean,
have you seen, by the way? Sorry, hang on, hold on. Sorry to interject. Have you seen who Strasbourg are linked with and about to sign? Yet another academy youth product. Can you fuck off?
I mean, but isn't that what he's meant to be doing? Using his thing to make stuff happen.
Wait. Can I help with this guy? Guess who was also in the City Academy for a short period of time? Mohamed Kudus.
Was he actually?
Was he really?
There was no way he was in the City Academy for a shot, man.
I don't know.
Nah, he's
bro. This Joe Shields thing was cool for a moment. Now it's pissing me off.
Listen, shout out to Joe Shields, man. He's a man of a plan. He's a man of a plan.
Man of a plan.
2021.
Isn't that right, man?
But where did you see that link though? I'm curious.
The Taylor Harwood-Bellis one was from Alex Goldberg on playback, I think, and then the James Trafford one I saw before. Yes, I don't know how reliable it is. I'll be honest. The fact that his name is even being associated with this club, fuck me, man.
The thing about the James Trafford one is that I think that's an interesting one because I think it was clearly like a smoke screen because again, James Trafford has been linked to a bunch of clubs, bro. I'll be honest. He's more than likely going to Newcastle, isn't he? Last time I had Newcastle was the one that was targeting him.
The Newcastle one's weird because they agreed a deal with him, like with Burnley, in January or just after January closed. Like, so they agreed everything in January, or like did a kind of similar thing to what we did.
Exactly.
What's it called? With Nkunku, where they agreed it just after January closed. But even though they agreed that, nothing's happened since.
That's what's confused
like, they
me as
haven't
well.
signed it.
You're gonna say Ahmed?
No, I agree with what Thingy's saying here because I'm kind of confused myself. You know, I mean, like I don't know what's going on with him, but I just think he's an easy guy to just like add to the list because he's an ex-Chelsea player, ex-Man City Academy. Joe Shield works there. It's quite easy just to connect us with him, if that makes sense.
That's kind of where I'm getting at too. Like I feel like it's I'm not saying Alex Goldberg isn't reliable. He has gotten things right, but at the same time, it feels a little bit like a.
I'll be honest.
lazy-
He's been no. This season, he's been banging on the money. He told us about Kudus 2 days ago. We came out underneath. He's been very. I think he's been probably the best he's been in the game.
But I just feel that like there's obviously always going to be links to City Academy.
No,
Like-
but he didn't even link us to him, bro. That's
Oh,
the thing.
but
He didn't even link us.
there's such a thing as too much, right? Like,
No, I get that. I understand
the City
that.
Academy because the City Academy is arguably the best in England, or one of the best in England, right? I understand it, but there is such a thing
I
as
get that.
too much. Like, no one can getting Palmer, fantastic. Getting Lavia, fantastic. Those two you can tell when it comes to that youth team, fantastic. Who else have we signed or we've been linked with? The Delap one, makes sense. Bro, no one's going to sit here and tell me that Taylor Harwood fucking Bellis makes any sort of sense. No one's going to sit here and tell me that James Trafford makes any sort of sense.
But that's why, I to a certain extent too, I feel like because we have signed a handful of City products, there are going to be journalists and people that whisper into Alex Goldberg's ear saying hey, I heard this City Academy product is another one that you guys are trying to bring in, and so on and so forth.
Well,
and there might be no actual substance to it.
The way I would put it, the way I would put it to you, Marshall, is that maybe he's on the list, but I think the list is just he might be further down the list, if that makes sense, bro. He's not he's not the number 1, number 2. He might be the 4th and 5th option. That's just the way I'll put it.
Yeah, thank you, CS Uni. It's like low-hanging fruit journals, just like links to Gyokeres to United. Why? Because Amram's there. It's stuff like that I'm thinking okay, let's see if it does formulate, because I haven't seen anything on that one until you told me, Scott. And it could very much be legitimate, and I'd probably have the same sentiment as you, which is I am starting to get tired of trying to rebuild the City team that never was. I don't want to be and I'm not saying we are, because we do have Caicedo, we do have Enzo, we do have Colwell, Reece James, our own players that are sprinkled into this team. But at the same time, call me stupid for doing this, but from a sense of pride, I kind of don't want to be Man City's shadow. I want to be Chelsea. You know what I mean? I don't want to be Man City 2.0.
I don't even care about that.
But does that matter?
I'm just saying that's for me.
That's fair. If you want to sign all the good City Academy players, cool. But bro, when you're signing Tosin and we're being linked with Harwood, Bellis and these no, that's not the best of the best. You're just buying them because they're cheap, they're available, so it's an opportunity, quote unquote, one of those market opportunities, and you just know them because the City Academy, bro, it's just lazy.
No, and I agree with that. I will also say real quick before you go, Ahmed, I will also say just to add to Scott's point, there's a reason why not all the City graduates make it to the promised land, which is professional football and being one of the best. Some of them just never really made it. They were good enough for the academy, but they never really rose to their. I'm not saying this player can't rise to the top, but not every single one is going to be a hit either. Some of them just don't make it. So why rely on this whole get the academy kids, get the academy ones from the Man City Academy, even though some of them didn't even land in the right clubs, so on and so forth. I mean, that's just my 2 cents.
I get the argument that you're trying to make there, Marshall, but Harwood Bellis, for example, is at Southampton, bro, just recently. So, and also, City have also had a team where they've been buying consistently. They've been trying to get the best of the best. They've been doing that for quite a while. So they've not really needed to rely on their academy, much like how we never really necessarily have to rely on our academy in our golden era, if that makes sense, Marshall. So I think I would have to slightly disagree with you on that. And also, secondly, I don't care how my team is made. I think a good example of this I always come back to is Liverpool. Liverpool when they did the initial rebuild, they used to raid Southampton, bro, on a consistent basis, bro, to help to rebuild their team. Now, you're right. So for me, I just at the end of the day, for me, I'm just listen, I don't care where you come from. If it's Man City, I don't care. It just shows that listen, we saw their potential better than the club that was in their academy. That's all it does. So if anything, it's a much sadder story for them than it is for us, because we were able to do what they couldn't do, and get their own academy kids to work for us and become our own. Was it called legends or heroes? whatever you wish to call them.
Speaking of,
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I'm for it.
No,
I would
no.
take him
Why?
as
Brother,
an option.
He just had the
Where?
big. He just had a major injury, bro. He just had a leg break, Marshall. Why would I bring him in right now?
Was it a leg break?
Was it a leg
Or
break? I thought it was an ACL.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was an ACL.
I thought he broke his leg. No, this wasn't that the whole reason why he was.
Either way, it's a beyond stupid idea. It's another
Fractured his
18-year-old.
leg.
It's another 18-year-old coming off a huge injury. Like, he might be talented, but brother, like, that'll be two 18-year-olds in the same position.
Way. Yeah, there's
Over
no way we're
Gittens
going for those.
on left wing.
He doesn't play left wing. Well, when he got
left
injured,
wing.
when he got injured, he was playing right wing. Like I think the game before he got injured, he played on the right.
Oh, I swear he was a left winger.
Yeah, but like, so thanks for Jed for clarifying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he just had an injury in his leg, bro. There's no chance. I repeat again, no chance I'm bringing this guy into my team.
Nope.
I'm actually setting myself up to fail if I bring in a guy like Oscar Wilde, with all due respect.
I don't know about that.
Not like,
bro. He's barely got any experience, Marshall, on the team, right? He's barely played any football, right, for a whole year. He's probably gonna have to be brought back in slowly into the team. So he's those type of signings where if I have a surplus of players in that position, yeah, I can maybe bring him in. Right now, I don't have that luxury.
But even so, bro, like, it doesn't make any sense in terms of squad building. Because, like I said, whether he's a left winger or a right winger, if he's a left winger, that means we're going to have a 20-year-old and an 18-year-old on the left wing. Fantastic. Or we've got two 18-year-olds on the right wing. Like, bro, it's just people.
Is a winger? I thought it's like a fullback.
People genuinely think that it's Football Manager, bro. Like, you have no understanding how to coherently build a team. You have no understanding how to coherently build a team and a squad. Absolutely none. Like, genuinely none. If you think that getting Oscar Bob and adding him to this team is smart. You have absolutely
One of the reasons why we were targeting Oscar Bob, people seem to forget this, this is pre-Neto, by the way. Like, we had anything about Neto, by the way. So we were clearly targeting him to be like our main, one of the right wingers to compete with Jackson. People forget about that, by the way. But obviously that situation changed completely.
Let me look at first-tier football. How much first-tier football he's played.
He played a bit of fullback though at Man City, so.
Yeah, 17 games in the Premier League. He has played a bit in
17 games. Fucking.
But how many of those have been starts, Marshall? How many of those have been starts? That's what you need to look at, bro.
He's been subbed on a lot.
That's what I'm saying.
Subbed on a lot.
That's what I'm saying.
I really think in up until he broke his leg.
He was on a good trajectory.
Yeah, he was
on a very good trajectory.
Yeah, he was going to be good. But he was going to be good.
It looked like they were going to build a team around him this season.
Yeah.
No, they weren't. He was going to get minutes.
He's going to get minutes, but like, again, the point I think I make of him is he was going to listen. He's a good player, everything of the sort. But the problem is Marshall is coming off a serious injury. Our team right now does not have that ability to take that risk, Marshall. Does it? I know you would agree with that too.
I mean,
we don't have the ability to take that risk, bro.
I mean, when you're looking at the attacking winger options in Gittens, Garnacho, Kudus,
Morgan Rogers,
obviously Morgan
Rogers
is, but those links have been very weak as of late. I would say you would say Morgan Rogers and Kudus are probably the best options on there. Morgan Rogers doesn't necessarily play on the left wing, but he can play that left-sided. You could probably make him into a left winger. I would even argue Ekitike. Say that one more time, Scott.
Rogers used to be a winger before he was a number 10, by the way.
Okay. You could make the argument that Ekitike could play there. Probably, he has decent dribbling ability. It's just that as an option, I wouldn't turn it down. He would be up there. I would probably favor him more than Gittens, favor him more than Garnacho.
Okay, that's fine, Marshall. But I'm gonna ask you the question: how is it gonna work when let's say, hypothetically speaking, let's say our main left winger gets injured, right? So it's Oscar Bob time. Barely had any minutes, but probably just getting into fitness right now. He probably had to learn how to walk again, learn how to kick a ball again properly. Everything.
He's played this season, right? Like, he's come on as a sub. He has played minutes. Like, he's fit.
Played this. Oh, you thought he's played?
He came back in March. I just looked at his transfer market.
How many minutes has he played since March?
Not that much, but he's been fit to play 8 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute.
Ooh.
It's also
That's 14,
Guardiola.
That's 14 minutes worth of football since March. That's nothing.
Yeah, but okay, but it's not like it's not 14 minutes. Like it's not. He's played 3 games in a row since he's come back. Like he played one game, wasn't in the squad. Play another game, wasn't in the squad. Wasn't in the squad for 4 games in a row. Then played another minute, then wasn't in the squad. So he hasn't been chosen, but he's been fit since.
He's not really fit enough to play proper minutes because he just came off a leg break.
Or Guardiola is trying to go for a Champions League spot. He's not going to risk playing Oscar Bob.
I mean,
if Oscar Bob is as good as everyone thinks he is, why wouldn't he play?
Yeah.
Because you have Doku, you have Grealish, you have other.
Come on, Grealish for them is.
Doku has been shit. Grealish doesn't play. Has not even been selected.
Yeah, but why are we pretending Guardiola doesn't like to play his young players? Like, look at not James Trafford. What's the other fucking player?
Hold on,
McAtee barely played.
You're proving my point. He likes to play young players, so why wouldn't Oscar Bob play?
No, he doesn't.
He was getting played in preseason.
He doesn't like to play young players.
I mean, how old is
McAtee barely played this season.
What's his name?
Here,
Savinho.
I'll pull up McAtee's minutes towards the end of the season. That's kind of the point I'm getting at here. Let me give you the visuals so you kind of get where I'm going at. And again, I'm not trying to make the argument that he's my first choice. I'm just saying, like,
I
could be a
Pep
choice.
used that young centre back quite a lot.
Right.
I say Nico Riley played basically every single game at left back once he came into the team.
That one too, yeah.
Here we go. So this is Oscar Bob. He's been back fitness wise since the 8th of March. Got a few minutes here and there, just not in the squad for these amount of minutes. Now, he's fit. If you want to get him into fitness, you can play him. But again, this was crunch time, April, when they were still fighting to secure a Champions League spot. So I get not playing the inexperienced players. Now I'm gonna look up James McAtee's minutes towards the end and how often he actually ended up playing.
There was only 3 times. So he was on the bench. There was only 3 times this entire season in the league he didn't make the squad. He was either on the bench or playing, like where he was on the bench most games. And then he started a couple. Fun fact, by the way, James McAtee played near as makes no difference the same amount of minutes against Real Madrid in the second leg that Oscar Bob has all season in those 3 games. Like, this isn't he just wasn't fit. Oscar Bob just wasn't fit. Otherwise, he would have made the bench at least.
Where's that young centre back?
Play a lot. He would have made the bench.
You're talking about
the one who fucked up against Chelsea. Yeah, the Georgian guy. Is he Georgian? I forgot.
Yeah.
No, the Kusanov, the Uzbekistani.
Oh,
Where the fuck is this guy's things here?
It takes a while to load. I don't know the size.
Yeah.
Oh, that was weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's just a
All right, so he played a significant since Leicester, since that's pretty much when Oscar Bob
He was playing before that as well, like, or he was on the bench.
He's played minutes, but
On
there's
the
a
bench.
lot of minutes he
Played
wasn't
against Real
playing.
Madrid. Also came on against Real Madrid in the
But
Champions League.
I'm just looking at the league, obviously, because the time Oscar Bob came back was around this time.
That's cool, but McAtee also played minutes in the league, so this idea that he doesn't want to play them is not true. They were in the squad. Like he played. Rico Lewis played a bunch. Got picked as the first choice right back at times as well.
Wait, but you know why he started also to play McAtee? Because McAtee was about to go to Bayer Leverkusen. People seem to forget that as well. Like Bayer Leverkusen came in for him in January and we're like, listen, McAtee, if you want to come over, let's make it happen. And then Guardiola said, no, I want to keep him. And then he started giving him a consistent amount of minutes because in the first half of the season, he barely gave him any minutes, bro.
Yeah. And I would even argue, like, yeah, he's given him minutes at the end of the season after Leicester, right? But only 3 of those games are, like, more than 45 minutes. So Leicester out of 8 games. So 3 out of 8 games, that's not terrible. But Oscar Bob was actually not, sorry, tell a lie. Oscar Bob was back since Forest, so...
But then let's use that argument then, Marshall.
3 out of 10 games.
So the argument you're using is that, so Guardiola hasn't used him yet, he doesn't trust him, crunch time and stuff like that, so then why should we trust him then?
Because we're not Guardiola?
But you're
Guardiola
saying...
Guardiola gave the same treatment to Cole Palmer, and look what happened.
No. Let's follow me down my logic tree if you just don't mind for 1 second.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So Guardiola doesn't trust him. Guardiola is a man that's known for trying to consistently win the league. That's what he does. That's his game plan and everything like that, right? Sure. And so if he's not trusting them in key moments where if we are competing next season, what makes us think that that's going to change with us? What trust have they given us that they've not been able to give the best manager in the world?
That best manager in the world has trust issues. He likes his experienced players. This is known.
But then again, you're coming back to the question I'm asking you though.
Hang on. If that's again, we'll go back to it. If that's true, why didn't Grealish play more minutes than Savio and Doku this season?
Grealish has personal issues and all this type of shit. That is, I think he had a falling out with fucking Guardiola, if I heard correctly.
Cool. Why has Nico Riley played at left back the whole season, or like half a season? Since he came into the team, he's played the left back every single game. Why has Rico Lewis been played in the team ahead of Kyle Walker this season?
Rico Lewis, I'll give you that one, but that's probably because Kyle Walker wanted to leave the club.
So no, Kyle Walker didn't want to leave. Choice. He got told to leave by Guardiola. He got told.
No, but that's because Guardiola. But that's because so if I remember correctly, Walker was essentially stripped of the armband or some shit, or benched, and once he got benched, he was like, "Hey guys, I think I gotta go," because he was shit. Rico Lewis was better than him. And then he forced to move to AC Milan.
I mean, no, they also just told him he could leave. Like, they told him he wasn't needed. Like, you see what's happened? He's come back from AC Milan.
Because of that bullshit he did. But like, even Rico Lewis, he's had howlers this season. But I'm not bashing that. Like, he had to play him. He played him. Then he played Nunes in that position as well. So Rico Lewis didn't necessarily keep the right back position. We saw Nunes in right back a few times as well. He caused them howlers as well. So, like, I think there is a cause and effect for all of it. But if it was up to Guardiola, he just puts the experienced players on and gives the youth a few minutes here and there. Which is why Palmer left. Which is why a few of these players leave.
Yeah, well, Palmer actually wanted to go on loan, but they wouldn't. Sorry.
And by the way, the other player you mentioned with the afro, what's his name?
O'Reilly.
Nico O'Reilly. He didn't start getting minutes towards the end, and most of his minutes were cup minutes.
I mean, Cole Palmer didn't get a whole lot of minutes even at City. He did get minutes, but he didn't get like a lot. That's why he wanted to go on loan. And
that's what I'm saying. Like,
they didn't want to accept
look,
that.
I hear the argument. Like, it could very much be fitness. I wouldn't be surprised if it's fitness, but as far as I'm aware, like, I'm gonna treat it like Van Dijk. He's going to have that season where he's going to recover from the leg fracture and stuff. He's not going to be the same and all this and that. With Oscar Bob, if you can, deputize him or utilize him in that left wing position and have a attacker, like, I wouldn't turn it down for the good price, for a good price. I wouldn't necessarily turn the nose at it. I think there's a good player there that if you're patient enough, you wait for him to get into his fitness, then he can be good. I know it's a risk. I'm putting steroids in his eyes, but I know it's a risk. But you're talking about Kudus for 85 or Ekitike for 82 million. Like, I don't see why not add him into the conversation.
I'd rather these guys than Oscar. The other issue, and I'll go back to it again with squad building. Let's say, for example, he's a left winger. So you're telling me in 2026 we're going to have a 21-year-old Gittens, a 19-year-old Bob, and a 19-year-old Quentin.
I'm throwing him into that conversation of, like, if we don't get Gittens, he should be an option. You know what I mean? Like, I personally, I think I like Oscar Bob more than I like Gittens, but that's just me.
Yeah, the problem is, Marshall. The problem for me, Marshall, is that we can cook a guy like Gittens, but the one thing Gittens has over a guy like what's his name again? Oscar Bob.
Mm-hmm.
He actually has regular minutes this season. He had some minutes this season. He had quite some level of consistent minutes off the bench the season before Borussia Dortmund. So he's had some level of actually doing stuff in the league, in his league, consistent on some level of consistent football.
Kudus, yeah.
Right, Kudus,
Kudus, yeah.
Kudus, another one. again, Morgan Rogers, another one, right? All these guys that we're mentioning here, even Garnacho, for all of his criticism that we give him, has had regular minutes, right? So that's the thing here where I don't know if I can justify it with Oscar Bob. The thing about Palmer was getting minutes, but he was shining in those minutes, right? And then you brought him to a club where
Oscar Bob was kind of shining in the minutes.
He was too. Of course, he was too.
Yeah.
But the thing for me was there, he just didn't leave at the right time, Marshall. You know what I mean? He just didn't leave at the right time, and then he got like a really big injury, and those are very hard injuries to come back from. That's my point, Marshall. Even with him, even if I was to say I agree with you, bring him in. I just think that those type of injuries, bro, you have to like wait at least one season to see what the player's like post injury.
I'm just saying, if you wait that one season, by the time you get to that one season, a lot of more people are gonna be after him. The price is gonna go up. Like, it is risk and reward, right? And that's the game that these guys like to play. I'm just saying, throwing Oscar Bob's hat into the ring is not a bad shout, especially when you're considering Kudus, who's at a high price. Gittens, all right, fair enough, whatever. Yeah, what Real Gem said as well is the whole Jack Grealish thing too, but who knows? That's time will tell with that one. Anyways, let's actually go on to the big story that I wanted to discuss with you guys. And people are losing their minds over the game today, and we'll go over that as well. Maignan wants Chelsea. So a lot has happened in regards to this. So bear with me, guys. I'm going to be doing a lot of reading here. And if you're enjoying the content, if you're enjoying the discussion, the debate, the whatever, go ahead and smash up the like button. It helps out the channel's growth tremendously. I appreciate you guys getting us over 100 likes. That's phenomenal. Just keep it pushing. Let's keep going and trying to get more likes. But yeah, let's go ahead and read about Maignan, what happened since the last time we did the show, because we weren't talking about Maignan since last season. And now all of a sudden, big developments in regards to this player. And we did discuss it yesterday a little bit in the call-in show, but let's get into details. So first tweet that I have here is from April 9th. So there was some links early on in the season from Simon Phillips saying that Chelsea are looking to sign a new goalkeeper this summer amid concerns over both Robert Sanchez and Philip Jurgensen. AC Milan's Mike Maignan is being considered. Short Simon Phillips. So hey, kudos to Simon Phillips because he was talking about this back in April. And I learned about that today when I was looking through some of my rumors and I saw it in there. I was like, holy crap, this isn't new. This was actually talked about. So fast forwarding to this week, June 3rd, exclusive, Fabrizio dropping the exclusive Bamba. Chelsea approached AC Milan to sign Mike Maignan as new goalkeeper. Let me just make this bigger for myself. Mike Maignan has still not signed a new contract at the club, and Chelsea are now aware of the situation. He's always been high on Chelsea's list with clubs in talks, decision up to Milan. Let me take a sip of water real quick. I need that. What the fuck, dude? Anyways, Chelsea's insiders have long said they are still stocked in talented goalkeepers. None are currently shoo-ins to be number one, and Mike Maignan represents an opportunity for an upgrade. Sky Cava also saying, Mike Maignan to Chelsea, we believe there is a good chance this deal is going to happen. We continue on here. Up here, Enzo Maresca has approved of the Mike Maignan signing, considered ideal for his tactical approach. Chelsea on it. To be fair, I don't think he had much of a say on this one. What are you laughing about?
Sorry, I received a heavy text message from his stream. Someone said, if Pen Cafe was French, Ahmed would be doing the prop. He just texted me.
Right. Exposed.
You know.
Anyways, we have here from DeMarzio. AC Milan asked for £25 million to sell Mike Maignan. Mike Maignan is interested in joining Chelsea, according to Nazar Kinsella. We continue on from Ben Jacobs. Chelsea are now expected to place an offer for Mike Maignan, and he's open to the move. Lack of CL football could force Milan to sell for 20 to 25 million pounds, potentially with some add-ons on top. Nazar Kinsella adding on to this news story here that Georgi Petrovic is attracting a lot of interest. AC Milan have been watching him for over a year, but now have been looking for a few options to replace Maignan, including Vanya, Milenkovic, Savic. Matt Law reporting Chelsea have also made a check on Maignan that could signal the summer sale of Robert Sanchez. Maignan only has 1 year remaining on his AC Milan contract, and Chelsea have made inquiries to find out the conditions of his possible signing. No offer yet, according to Matt Law. Glongeri saying here, Chelsea's contacts with AC Milan for Mike Maignan are proceeding quickly, with the Italian club looking at alternatives. So we continue on here. This is from the playback from Ben Jacobs that was on. And this is kind of that part of the story that had people losing their minds. Chelsea don't see 20 to 25 million pounds as a number they want to pay for Maignan. They are starting low. If they can meet in the middle or get close to their 8.5 million pound valuation, then great. If not, there's no drama. And to be fair, guys, given context, we weren't necessarily expecting to get a new goalkeeper in the market. We were expecting to go with Georgi Petrovic if the club were to do the right thing instead of continue with Sanchez. But here we are. It's definitely a big win if we get it, but also not nearly as derailing of the plans if we don't. But hey, it would be a big boost regardless. Continuing on here with Fabrizio Romano, Chelsea value Maignan at 8.4 million pounds, being out of contract in 1 year and won't wait longer than Monday. They're happy with their 4 keepers. Update: new AC Milan coach Allegri is expected to contact Maignan to confirm that he is key figure in the team and must stay at Milan. Fabrizio also saying here, AC Milan still consider Mike Maignan one of the best keepers in the world and doesn't want him to go cheap. Chelsea feels if the player is not extending, he goes out of contract next summer. He's worth 8.5 million pounds. Enzo Maresca believes Chelsea need a goalkeeper with a different level of distribution from last season, and Maignan is seen as a perfect option, playing from the back in build-up. Chelsea are speaking to Milan and the player. Going forward, Chelsea are not in a rush for a new goalkeeper and will wait until Monday. If nothing is agreed, they could move on. Chelsea consider Petrovic important goalkeeper, and they also have Sanchez, Jorgensen, and Penders. Hey, Fabrizio, I'm glad you're saying that Chelsea considered Petrovic an important keeper and don't give a fuck about the rest of them. Mike Maignan also wants to join Chelsea. According to L'Equipe, he is keen on playing regularly in Champions League. Allegri intends to hold talks to Maignan after Nations League to try to convince him to stay, but Chelsea intend to move fast to rely on Maignan for Club World Cup. Mike Maignan has informed AC Milan he wants to join Chelsea. The Italian club are still holding out for 20 to 25 million pounds, but the goalkeeper has made it clear he wants to leave. Mike Maignan is not prepared to sign new deal with AC Milan, with reports indicating he has informed the club his heart is set on Chelsea. The contract situation does rather force AC Milan's hand. Ben Jacobs also with an update. Chelsea still in talks to try and get Milan to lower their fee. Maignan has told Milan he wants CFC and to play UCL next season. Chelsea want to resolve the matter, regardless of outcome, fast, knowing it impacts other keepers at the club days before they fly for the Club World Cup. So people are losing their minds. Obviously, Reactionary FC, that's what we're known for. Not here at Casually FC, but over on Chelsea Twitter.
I mean,
and
you're quite a reactionary type, mate.
Am I? I react to the fans. I don't react to my players that much.
I mean, you react to
save myself at the end of that much.
Violating, you know what I mean? You violate Madueke every week, so you do, mate. Yeah, you do.
Bro, I got cooked.
Can you say here? Can you say here?
You want me to show you the screenshots of people cooking me for rating Madueke and considering him a successful signing under this ownership?
I don't believe you.
All right, I'll show you the text after the stream. All right, so shut up, Chris. Anyways, so.
Chris is moving like the sheepy shag, man. You know what I mean?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. So this happened today. I looked at it and I feel like, yo, really? This is the error that we're saying Maignan, no, don't bring him to the club. So I'll break down the play, obviously, slow-mo. This is the mistake that everyone's saying, oh, you can't bring Maignan to the club. I didn't watch the game,
actually, so he conceded 5 though, right? That's
I think he did.
What was it, like 5-0?
5-0. This might be one of them then, ladies and gents.
Wait,
I don't know what the
I didn't
scoreline
actually watch the game. I heard it 5-0 and then...
okay, let's confirm the scoreline real quick. Hold on.
I don't know.
Google, because Chris doesn't know...
well, do you know the scoreline?
No, because I didn't watch the game.
Who watched the game here?
Versus France.
I just know my friend said it's 5-0.
The scoreline was 5-4.
Huh?
5-4.
They catch up.
Ryan, Turkey Nation, man.
Well,
Turkey Nation.
They didn't catch up, but was they 5-0 down? They almost caught up.
5-4.
They were 4-1 down.
Oh wow.
Oh,
5-4 to Spain.
Wow.
So this is one of the goals that Maignan conceded that people are saying this is the
Looks like a
goalkeeper you want us
1v1.
to sign.
Looks like it's about to
Well,
be a 1v1.
it did become a 1v1.
So
and
why? Oh,
I don't see this as a clear-cut mistake. Yeah, it's not nice that he got beat in his near post, but like,
Can I be honest? Marshall?
talk to me on it.
You can forgive him for because he probably was thinking about his move to Chelsea, bro. That's probably what he's on. That's probably what he's on his mind. Like, I don't know why people.
I thought you was on to go say he's thinking about like his right side, like in that 1v1.
No, but like I just feel like again, this is a guy that's currently going through a transfer saga. He's trying to move from his club. He's just told them that I want to move to this club. Right?
I mean,
he's probably thinking about the negotiations and stuff like that. That's sometimes that does affect players, bro. I'll be honest. You know what I mean? So and plus, like I'll be honest, like a lot of these French players, bro, I don't feel like they're playing serious, bro. Konate in this game was below average. If you watch Konate in this game.
Well, the defense got fucked. So
yeah, like again, this is for me. I just look at this and I'm just like, this is just probably a player who wasn't thinking. He probably wasn't, didn't have that much heart in this game. Was probably thinking about
Bro, it's Nations League.
Exactly,
Yeah,
that's the point I'm trying to make. It's Nations League.
A lot of these players don't care.
Yes,
but I will say they are over pushing. It's a 1v1, like he's through on goal. Like yeah, he didn't
I
say
thought he
anything.
had. Like people were saying he had a howler, he had an Onana moment, and all this shit. And I'm
That's
thinking
not
like,
like- that's
oh
not-
no,
no.
this is nothing like an Onana moment.
He's
What are you
in a
guys
1v1
talking
situation.
about?
yeah.
I would like to see all the goals though.
It just looked like it went underneath his foot. Like he didn't get a quick.
He should do better with this, but it's not an Onana moment.
Yeah, unless chat
done
is
that,
there another goal that you want us to look at that is more like that Onana
Definitely
moment?
not
Like
Nico
which goal
winning.
was it? Like if it isn't this one, because this is the one that on Twitter was labeled as
That probably is it. That's probably it. Like that's probably the worst one, and then the rest are like.
this is like
It's
what
just
are we doing?
yeah, he didn't get there, but like
Like what Onana does is he parries the ball and it lands on the player where he parries it in the worst way,
or it's a
like,
free
he
kick
basically
and he
throws
just
it
lets
in.
it straight in.
Yeah,
like it's an easy save.
the fifth goal, Yamal's goal, fifth actually. All right, let me see if I can find the fifth goal for you guys.
Is it actually bad though?
I'll look
Like,
it up. I want to see it.
He has
I wanna
done
see what
mistakes
people are
though. I have
talking
seen
about.
him make mistakes.
You know,
like,
listen, you know what it is, guys?
Mistakes.
Yeah,
No
I
one's
know.
perfect.
Guys,
Even
listen.
Courtois made mistakes.
You know what's really good
Listen,
about Maignan?
I am
His
gonna
his
be-
footwork though. His footwork's
listen,
amazing.
I'm gonna be so honest with you
It
guys.
is.
This guy is checked out right now. I don't know how we acted like he's not checked out this season. He's completely checked out.
People are saying fifth, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's it, man.
I mean, I
I'm
do
gonna
hear
look
what
it
he's
up,
saying.
guys. I'm gonna look it up. No, you guys keep talking. I'm sorry. I'm looking up the
No,
fifth
like-
goal.
I think this deal will probably get done tomorrow. I'll be honest
It's
with
not,
you.
Yamal.
I hope it is. 'Cause,
I hope
like,
it
I
does.
think-
for 20 million,
Listen,
that's
the
a
fact
deal. I
that
still think.
for me, the sign that I thought this deal looks like is gonna happen to me wasn't even about the negotiation and stuff. It's when I found out today that Robert Sanchez was included in the deal for
Oh
Kudus.
yeah.
So for me, that was like a
Yeah, that's
that was
fine.
like a
I'm in
big
big
sign.
trouble, man.
You know what I mean? That's a big sign to me that the club is already like trying to find ways to move on Sanchez
All right,
already.
let me just fucking go on
If
YouTube.
that
They
makes
know
sense.
got
So-
another keeper in, yeah.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So clearly they know they can get the thingy done. And again,
I feel
one
like
thing I wanna.
if they don't get this done, man,
One
they
thing-
fucked up.
No,
They
no, no,
fucked
no.
up.
But you need to. The reason why, the negotiations need to happen. And I'm gonna add context because Scott knows. I think has had me say this before. I understand the PTSD of this club when it comes to negotiating deals and stuff like that.
I get that
and
too, yeah.
Right, and I think I think some level of the crash out is fair and like everything like that.
Didn't we
But
try to get
also-
Maignan years
Well,
ago? I forgot. But...
Yeah, we did, Chris. But just going back to what I was saying. But we also need to realize we're kind of right now we're in the middle of negotiating with Ekitike, and we're trying to reduce the price that Eintracht Frankfurt is asking for. Right, Eintracht Frankfurt is asking for 84 point something million pounds right now, and we're trying to get them to somewhere around about 70. Apparently, we're well within that process. If we just gave right now Maignan 25 M's, Marshall, like what AC Man was asking for, what's Frankfurt gonna say, bro?
Oh, give us 88.4 for Ekitike.
They're gonna say, give us the price you asked for, right? Because that's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
Because if you're giving up prices that other people are asking for, then why then we deserve
I
that
get
price,
that.
right?
I get that.
So a good example I use. Look at Manchester United right now. Yeah, they're getting told minimum 70 because the teams know that United's legs is wide open all the time. You know what I mean? They're the known whore. You know that known whore that's
God
in the
damn.
flipping whorehouse. That's it, man.
The maiden, the top maiden,
Top maiden. That's it, man.
Whatever. Yeah. No. This is the goal you guys are tagging me to look
Is
at.
it near?
And honestly,
Did he get beaten near post?
No.
Okay.
And you know what? If he got beaten in near post, I would have been like, you know what, chat, you're right. You're right, chat.
Yeah.
Chat, I see where you're coming from. It's not good, but it's also not like Onana howler.
If he got beaten near post, like I said, like
No,
that'd
he
be
didn't
bad.
get beaten near post.
If he got
Let's
beaten near
see
post
it.
from that
Let's
angle,
see
that'd
it.
be
Let's
bad.
see it. Let's see it. Let's see it. Let's see it.
So it's a slow roller to an extent.
He could have done better. By looks.
No,
He could've.
that was no. Look, the way the ball
It
bobs,
is very low driven, but
the ball, the bob of the ball cooked him. Watch. If you look at the way the ball
the
bobs,
bubble, yeah.
Yes, the bubble.
Yeah, I see it. I see it.
It's the way it's actually the surface. The surface fucked him.
Yeah, that I would say that's still worse.
Oh, here's a
than the
better
one,
angle
but
of it. Here's a better angle of it.
I will
See if I
agree
can
with the
get this
chat
to
that
go.
that is worse, but like
Yeah, this is worse, but it's still not like an Onana howler. Like,
I think we're gonna do too much crazy work on this. Like, and like look at little details what he's done here. Like, how has he not saved this? But yeah, the bubble does play a little bit of effect into it. I don't know. I can't complain. 20 million. I'm taking a chance. I'm taking a chance of this. Yeah, yeah. He should have done better.
It's just the angle's too tight. I think the angle just became too tight. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That must have been a powerful low driven shot. It just broke through his fingers like nothing.
He definitely
because you got his fingers to it. It's just the angle.
He's got
was
his
too
fingers
tight.
to it, but just didn't get enough strength on the fingers to push it away.
Exactly. Yes.
He deviates the shot, but not enough.
If he gets the palm obviously onto it, it's to save. But like,
yeah. And it would have been a great save too, but
yeah.
So,
Did he have to make any good saves? Like the goals he conceded.
I'm sure he has. I'm not gonna look over.
But for 20 million, I don't care. For 20 million, I'm taking him and Petrovic. That's the season I would go with.
That's what I mean. Like, and thank you, JB's. Like, this is what I mean. Like, not just even this game. Like, if you look at what he's done since he's joined, not even AC Milan, his whole career. Because where was he before AC Milan? He was at Lyon, right?
Lille.
No, Lille. Okay, he was at Lille before he went to AC Milan, and I remember, like, I think I recall, like, I wanted to get him after we won the UCL. I think, or no, when did he join AC Milan? Was it after Mendy had his shit season?
I think that's when I want him after his shit season, Mendy.
I remember it was around that time. I can't remember if it was before or after Mendy's
because Maignan, to me, he's been one of the top Serie A keepers for years now. So.
Yeah, dude. I remember when he made that move to AC Milan. I was kind of jealous. I was like, damn, I really wanted Maignan. But, like, this guy's a good keeper. And listen, I agree with I agree to an extent with the crash out. Like, for 25 mil, bro, like, most of us, if they had the money, would probably pay for that. But the thing is, like, why not try to save what you can? I think if this was a team we've had zero relationship with, I would agree with people saying, like, you're gonna basically offend them by saying that low ball of a price, which I agree with Scott. It's kind of disgraceful how low ball you're doing. 8.5 million pounds on 1 year left of his contract.
We haven't
caliber
bid at 8.5 though yet.
No, but that's the evaluation that we have. That's how much we think he's worth, right? Which is insulting. But the Italian clubs have been doing this to us for forever.
Hey, bro.
They've been lowballing us for forever. That's why I think after what? Wait, Ahmed, was it the season before this one? We were trying to sell off Romelu Lukaku. We were all like, "Yo, I'm done dealing with Serie A clubs. These guys always want to loan our players. They never want to buy them."
Have you heard the rap song yet? What is it? It's a problem when it's okay when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. You know what I mean? What does that mean?
Yeah.
No. No, like, listen, yeah, I promise there's gonna be Italian clubs that are gonna come in today, this summer for like maybe a Chalaba hypothetically speaking, or like a Badi issue, or even a disaster. And when they start offering some of this money, yeah, I'm gonna be there no matter what to crash it on you guys. Because yeah, you're gonna be like, what? How the fuck for that tour money? You know what I mean? But when we do it, yeah, because we just trying to listen to the actually, then that's for no.
That's what I mean, Joel. They penny pinch with us all the time. The thing is, I get penny pinching when you're probably working with the likes of Real Madrid to try to get a deal done, or a club you haven't really done business with. We've done business with AC Milan. We always sell them players. We give them bargain prices for them. They ended up working out well for them. Like, we have a good history of giving AC Milan players that work out. João Felix is in that conversation, but we've given them Tomori, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, like Chris just said. Pulisic has been one of their better players as well.
Yeah.
No, Tammy Abraham is
Where
now
did we
there.
give Ampadu? Like, didn't we?
Ampadu went to
Ampadu was going to be the Premier League, by the way.
Leeds.
He's going to be Leeds. He's Leeds.
Oh, then he went to
No, I meant in
and he's
Serie
the
A.
captain there, you know. Isn't he the captain, bro?
Yeah, he is.
When he went to Serie A, Chris, he went to Hellas Verona.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Online.
But Milan in no position to be demanding 30 mils.
Oh, wait. Who did we give Tammy originally to? Was it to AC or?
Roma.
Roma. Was it to
Roma, but now he's in AC Milan.
Oh, I thought it was the other way around. Oh,
yeah. No, but like now they have Tammy, another ex-Chelsea player. Like, we've always done good business with them. They've always had good luck with Chelsea players outside of João Felix, as far as recent time goes, right?
Yeah, we only did a
like
loan.
we for us to lowball them and people to think, oh, they're gonna walk away now. No, they lowballed us for Pulisic. We're gonna play the same game. We can negotiate with them. We have a good relationship.
Do you remember?
I don't remember, but they.
I actually don't remember that price.
We asked like 22.5 or something like that, up in the 20s, and they lowballed us with 13 something. Yeah, no,
but I think that's part of the strategy.
This is why for me, yeah.
No, it is.
This is why for me, yeah. I have no sympathy, bro. At the end of the day, bro, we are here to cook. You know what I mean? If we need to make money, we need to make money. Again, you know, I don't want us to be in a situation where because it looks like trying to complete the Ekitike deal by the weekend, but like if we have to pay 25 million for Maignan, and then they're like, sorry mate, put in negotiations, give me 84.3 mil.
Yeah,
I know who I'm looking at on Twitter to blame. Thank you.
Hey, private chat. I'm curious what name you're talking about. Anyways, so
there's only one. You like who I'm talking about. It's too easy. I can say his name right now, bro. And it's not easy, bro. It's Paez.
What? Oh, never mind. I got it.
You know what he said? He tell me in private chat. Actually, he tell me in private chat. Yeah.
I got it. But no, in terms of the Maignan thing, like, don't get me wrong. I think 25 to 20 is a great price for him. I think all of us agree on that, considering the caliber of keeper he is, and his ball distribution is top. Like, he's great on the ball. However, if you can get a little bit of a discount off of it, you know, come in with a negotiating price, like, hey, can you do it for 8.5? Hell no. Then you come into the middle and you get it for cheaper. And it could be even like, you know, you're talking like a deal that could potentially be 16 or 17 plus add-ons and stuff like that. Like, it could potentially be something like that, you know? I heard Scott's opinion on this, but Chris, what do you think about us, you know, going in for 8.6? That's our evaluation. He's
obviously we're not getting 8.6. Like, it's just the strategy we can meet in between the middle. Like, I don't know.
Is it penny pinching, like, Chris?
I mean, if we bidded that much, then I would say, yeah, we're trying to, like, penny pinch with this. But, like, we haven't made the bid, so it's not really going to classify as a penny pinch. Maybe it's just some sort of strategy so we can just meet in the middle for 15 to 18 million, something like that.
That's what the club wants to do, apparently. The club is supposed to give them 15 million, which is 20
they said their price for how much? 20 million or something pounds?
Yeah. I just think, listen, if you give them 15 million plus realistic add-ons, they will accept it at the end of the day, bro. It's all good in the hood, man.
I think so. I think so.
Even when they pay 20, it's still a great deal. Like,
I don't care about even the 25 million deal is good.
Even 25, and I think this is I'm going to make the same point I made yesterday, and I know Daniel made this point on Lewis's channel. I'm fine with you negotiating because that's what businessmen do. I'm fine with you trying to negotiate because if you can get a better price, like if you can get him for 15, go right ahead and try and get him for 15. But if it comes to it on Monday or Tuesday, and I'm saying this is a guy who really likes Petrovic, but Maignan is just better. If it comes down to Monday and Tuesday and they won't budge, just pay the fucking 25. Because I think as happy as I would be with Petrovic next season, I'm not going to complain if he's our keeper, but the optics of it would look terrible that you have managed to to most people, to some people I know they don't care, but it would Bro, how do you fumble yet another player because you want to lowball another club, and this time your daddies don't want to bail you out because you're fucking incompetent? Like, at the end of the day, like, if they want to haggle, fine.
Allegedly, they're not negotiating though, so I just want to just put that out there.
If they whatever you want to call it, if they negotiate, if they don't negotiate, whatever they do, but I need, if they don't get this over the line, bro, it's just more bullshit from the sporting directors. Of like,
I've seen this club spend a lot, like 20 million on like random young players, and they're just struggling to spend on maybe 20 million on an experienced goalkeeper who's pretty much at, I think, world class level, and who can last like to like 37, 36 easily. I think goalkeepers can just last longer. They just do. So yeah, like it would be a fumble on that because like I don't know what we're gonna get from Petrovic in the Premier League, and he'd be good competition anyway. Just think, say,
you don't know what you're gonna get from Petrovic in the Premier League.
In the Premier League, I don't know. What's I mean doesn't suit like the way Enzo Maresca plays from playing from the back over like a Maignan.
But you at least know he can save you shots.
No, yeah, he's good at saving shots.
I'll be honest, with the Petrovic thing again, as much as I like him, we have no idea if Enzo even wants to keep him. Is the thing.
Yeah, it's no, yeah.
Right,
he might not like his style, like how he plays in the back compared to like he said. I think didn't Enzo say like Maignan is his first choice for keeper anyway? So just give what the manager wants him, like give him what he wants, because to me, Enzo Maresca deserves some sort of back in the season. He's earned it a little bit. He's won the trophy. He's got top 4. Yeah, he's earned it for me. So give him what he like. I'm not saying go crazy on him like what he wants, but like at least back him the keeper for 20 million. Like obviously I want Gyokeres or Osimhen. I'm sure obviously I think Enzo would prefer those as well, but that's a little bit harder than maybe wages and stuff. But yeah, a Maignan should be a done deal. It should be.
Yeah, no, I agree. So let's see what happens. This is a very exciting link that it looks like it's very legitimate, and it could very much happen. Hopefully Monday we hear that Maignan is a here we go. Even before then, I mean, it is Wednesday today. Technically in the UK it's Thursday. Actually, no, today's Thursday. What am I talking about? Technically in the UK it's Friday. It's Thursday today. I'm sorry. I'm already putting myself on the Wednesday show format, but yeah, this is gonna happen over the weekend. It's gonna develop, and we'll be here to talk about it. Hopefully it's a here we go on Sunday. So yeah, big up chat. Let's go ahead and smash up the likes if you haven't already done so, continuing to do so, and subscribe to the channel if you are new here. If you're joining us, more news and all that stuff to come up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that segment. Let's go ahead and on to the next one, which is we haven't actually gotten to talk about this yet, but yeah, Delap has been announced. We already know it was a here we go a few days ago, but Delap is finally here, and let's discuss what was happening before the actual announcement did happen. So Chelsea announced signing of Liam Delap from Ipswich after he completes his medical today. Chelsea want Delap in their squad for the Club World Cup, which starts in a fortnight. Enzo Maresca personally pitched the Chelsea project to Liam Delap. The word is Delap was even told to envision himself leading the line in Chelsea's system while watching the Conference League final, when one source saying he liked what he saw. Liam Delap has completed also part of his medical test at Chelsea, and he can be considered new CFC player. £30 million move completed from Ipswich. Then Chelsea want Liam Delap to be part of the Club World Cup squad, as they see it as a major tournament, and it takes precedence over the under-21 European Championships from FIFA, which is something that Liam Delap was trying to be a part of. I think he was called up to the under-21s to be a part of that tournament, but they asked him that he not partake so he can be in the Club World Cup. And listen, Liam, I think this is the best choice you can make, considering you play first team minutes at Chelsea. They're seeing you at the world stage against the best teams in the world. They're seeing you in UCL and stuff. You'll get your chance to be a part of the England squad, especially when you got the World Cup coming up. Give yourself the best chance. Take these opportunities to do so. So Chelsea expect Liam Delap and Nicholas Jackson to compete for the out-and-out striker position, with Ugo Ekitike or another versatile forward providing a further option from deep or wide positions. And this is coming from Matt Law 2 days ago. Continuing on, here we go. Official. Chelsea is delighted to announce the transfer of Liam Delap from Ipswich Town, with the striker signing a contract until 2031. So that's a 6-year contract, essentially. Liam Delap I wanted to come to Chelsea to win trophies. When I spoke to the club, everyone wanted to get back to the very top with the desire to keep adding trophies. Take the club back to where it belongs. That's the main objective. Chelsea believe Liam Delap can be England's number 9 in the future, and at a relatively low price, believe he could be just what they need. Our new number 9, Liam Delap. Yeah, he picked up the number 9 kit. I believe Liam Delap would not be going to the under-21s. Chelsea have been speaking with the FA, and I thought I had a tweet of it, but if you guys didn't know, Cole Palmer has now acquired the number 10 kit, which we did discuss briefly. But yeah, Liam Delap officially here, officially announced, wants to win trophies. Been told that the club want to aspire to be winning trophies again. Ahmed, what do you think about our new number 9?
It's over.
No, I didn't mean to play that. What do you mean it's over?
Number 9, man. Why? I don't understand why plays at Chelsea.
The curse is over?
The curse is on. That's what I mean. Just don't take number 9. Why can you not take number 19? Who's number 19 at the club right now?
Who is number 9 at the club?
Number 19,
Or why can't
19.
you take number 19?
Number 19, number 15, number 11, something like that. I know Mudryk is 11, isn't it? So you can't take 11, but 15 or 19,
I
bro.
mean,
Like, just...
it might be available soon.
All right, buddy. But listen, let's take 15 or 11. Like, we need to stop. We need to make sure our strikers do not take the number 9, bro. It's like a fucking curse, bro, at this football club.
You think he backs himself? He's really confident. You think he...
I mean, listen, it's great to back yourself, but listen, sadly, it's not a gimmick, bro. It's been literally like a non-stop trend at this football club that the number 9 just like it hurts us. But
I believe it. No, I believe it. I think there's
Yeah,
a curse
man.
on that number.
Yeah, there's a curse on that number, bro.
Ray Allen, if you don't get the fuck out of here, that's not
Yeah,
Chelsea
but-
standards, bro.
Yeah, but he scored 12 of those goals in 6 months, and then the other 6 months he scored 3. So the curse is real.
That's what I mean. There was actually people on Twitter today, like, actually trying to tell me, it's not a curse, man. Tammy did fine under it. No, he didn't. He didn't do fine with the number 9. He was poop. He wasn't that great. Yeah, we're deprived of an actual number 9, and now we look at hindsight, it's like, oh, he did pretty decent. But no, when you get an actual proper number 9, like an Isak or Erling Haaland, you start to think like, oh no, those are amateur numbers. And plus, like, Tammy got like a quarter of those goals from Wolves.
No, he got 4. Listen, he literally got like 75% of his goals in the first 6 months. That's it. The last 3 goals he scored in the last few
Maybe
weeks.
the first 10 games, even, to be honest.
I don't know. It was in the first 6 months. It was literally the first 6 months of the season. Like the first
No,
half.
and Lukaku was a flop too. For 80 million pounds or whatever, however much we signed him for. That's not enough goals,
Yes.
bro. That's not enough goals.
Listen, at the end of the day, chat, yeah, you know me,
Had long
Bridge
enough
Nation.
book it. Oh my
Bridge
God.
Nation is open and honest about this. Hopefully he does well. I don't care.
I hope he does
Either
well.
way, he's gonna be one of 2 strikers.
Do you think he
faster
will
than-
do well?
I think he will do well because again, as I said before, like obviously removing the 9 curse stuff, but like bro, he suits our team. That's the one thing that I think matters with me more. I think something that I think the club has done a great job of is identifying players that suit the team, bro, that work for the team, that work in a Muraski system, bro. Again, the wingers we've got, right, who are, I'd probably say Brian Madueke are more so creators and everything like that. You've brought in a guy that you can create for at the very least, right? Put in crosses into the box for, do that sort of thing for. You've got a guy now.
Palmer.
Right, you've now got a guy that can get his head on the cross for a Reece James cross too.
Do you think so? Because I don't see that many heading goals from him.
No, because a lot of the time, Ipswich work on the counter, right? So he's not always going to be able to get a heading goal via the counter, right?
That's
But like his heading ability is really good. That's the thing about him. Like if you watch a lot of his I don't want to call them failed comps, but like comps where he's hitting the post and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
A lot of them have been headers, so he actually like heads the ball like this. It's just that obviously he didn't get that chance.
No, fair enough. I mean, we'll see. I think let me ask you this. Do you think to an extent the Chelsea fan base are doing a little too much with the whole oh, he used to play with Palmer and Lavia and Maresca coached him? Like,
I mean, listen.
Is that, you think that's a factor?
That can be obviously like a net benefit, right? But again, that was in the academy, bro. The academy game obviously is going to be vastly different to the, the Premier League, if that makes sense, bro. So we have to see what that means. We have to see how that works out at the end of the day. For me, you're pretty much going to start from scratch, in my personal opinion. That's what I'd probably say to you, bro.
Okay. Yeah, let's see what happens. I am excited for the signing. I do think he's gonna help Cole as well, in terms of just a striker that can pull away defenders and focus away from Cole, but is also dangerous if you leave him alone. Whereas like towards the end of the season, let's be honest, Jackson stopped being as much of a threat as he was in the beginning. And I think maybe defenders weren't nearly as bothered as him. You got a Cole Palmer that's being double marked in games constantly. If you can get, you know, a Liam Delap that can pull away 2 defenders and give space to Cole, we'll see. They've played in the academy together. They've been coached under Maresca, so Maresca's already familiar with how Delap plays, and Delap is already familiar with what he's being asked of Maresca, and as well as what, you know, Cole Palmer were to do as well. So there's something to be said about that. Whether it'll pay off and in goals and assists for both of them, then we'll see. We'll see. But I mean, Ahmed, so I got outgoing strikers and Ekitike. You want to go over those and then we'll call it a show?
Why not?
All right, cool. Let's do it, ladies and gents. So before we go ahead into that, ladies and gents, smash up the like button. I keep asking, but it's because it's so important to the show and it's so important to the channel and helping us grow as well. And like I said earlier in the show, for those of you watching, if you can't wait until Sunday for the next update on the Casually Chelsea show, the Bridge Nation, link down below. He's going over news once or every day or every other day, so he'll give you more updates as well. You got the majority of the people that are on this panel that'll go over there as well to talk, and it's a much shorter version as well, hour and a half, hour 20. So, all right, guys, let's go into some of the news in regards to outgoings so far. So, there's been a list presented in terms of players that we are looking to get off the books. And those players are as follows. We're looking at Sanchez, Petrovic, Vega, Chilwell, Disasi, Fofana, Dewsbury Hall, Chukwuemeka, Ugochukwu, Sterling, Nkunku, Felix, Madueke. And that's just a few of them. I'm sure there's more on that list that are going to be loaned or permanent sells. And this is coming from Simon Johnson, right? From Guardian. Okay, so we continue on.
No, Simon Johnson. No.
Simon
That's
Phillips.
Jacob Steinberg.
Jacob Steinberg. Okay, yeah. Wrong SJ. Anyways, there's no desire for Josh Achimpong to go anywhere, even on loan, according to Simon Johnson. We continue on here from Nazar Kinsella. If you guys didn't know, Burnley have confirmed they signed Chelsea defender Bashir Humphreys on a permanent basis. He was already on loan with an obligation to buy, as reported in August. May 20th is when this happened. So big up Bashir Humphreys. Nice having you at Chelsea. Thank you, Bashir Humphreys. Anyways, pure profit. We continue. Renato Vega will be available around £30 million. Juve would ideally prefer another loan. Axel Disasi, Ben Chilwell, Keenan Dewsbury Hall also among a long list of names expected to be subject to offers in the coming weeks. This is why I was telling you people, there's a lot of money incoming. We have a lot of sales to do. Let's continue to do so. So the loans of French midfielder Matisse Amogu and Kendry Paez from Chelsea to Strasbourg are almost complete. We continue on here. Leslie Ugochukwu is well liked, and his loan at Southampton is viewed positively. But Chelsea are now well stocked in midfield and believe he will generate a lot of interest. That's coming from The Athletic, so very good chance. And we all told you here, I think we all believed he's going to be sold eventually. But we'll see. Maybe he does stay by some miracle. Armando Broja, another one too. Everton are not currently planning on turning Armando Broja's loan into a permanent move unless Chelsea show a willingness to budge on his £30 million cost. That's coming from April 16th. An update on this is this one. Told Armando Broja desires a permanent move away from Chelsea this summer. His contract runs until 2028. So that's 3 more years. But strikers can't feel it's time for a clean break. Top clubs are interested. And listen, Armando, you had potential. Unfortunately, that terrible knee injury really stunted your growth, stunted your development, and it sucks, but you're just not the same player you used to be. I think it's time to go, and it's very unfortunate, but hey, it's better this way. You can get more play time somewhere else. Stay fit, please, and we'll see. Arsenal. Oh, this one. This is great. I can't believe this is actually legitimate. Oh man, I have another
Where's
one. To add to this
TJ when
one.
you need him?
Hey TJ, where you at, bro? Come outside, TJ. All right, let me add this tweet to this because I just found this while we were on the show. Arsenal are interested in a potential deal for Chelsea goalkeeper Kepa Arrizabalaga. Sky Sports News reports initial talks took place for Arsenal to be informed on deal conditions of Kepa Arrizabalaga. Fabrizio Romano saying it, even more of cha-ching right there. And here it is, ladies and gents. It's not done yet. We'll see. Hey, Arsenal. You know, we didn't do you. Hey, we gave you Raheem Sterling. Gave you a great season, man. I know you don't want Raheem Sterling. Sure, that's fine. What about Kepa, man? What about Kepa? You have your Spanish twins and goalkeeper, man. Why not? Why not? Arsenal are informed on a £5 million release clause for Kepa as an option for David Raya's backup. Initial talks took place to be informed on deal conditions, as Sky UK reports. Oh wow. Saeed TV, I agree with you on that one. Oh wow. Hey, TJ, where you at? Oh man. A lot of outgoings, but this one's a big one. I thought he was gonna go to Bournemouth. So we might have a little bit of a cheeky bidding war between Bournemouth and Arsenal. It's not going to be much, guys. I'm not getting my hopes up. But hey, we paid $5 million for him 8 years ago. No, not even. No, not that 8 years ago. What, 7 years ago? 7 years ago. That was a long time ago, man. We ran down his contract. We squeezed the juice out of it. Pause. So, hey, $5 million, whatever. Just get him out, man. Get him out. The wages is what's killing us with this guy. And he was a flop. So, hey, it is what it is. I'm glad he's being, there's interest. You play the keepers, man, people become interested. You gotta, put him on the window display. You know what I'm saying? No, get him out, Cal. I don't want any extra money for him. Just get him out. Get the wages off the books. He's gotta go, bro. He's gotta go. But go ahead, on. What are you gonna say, bro?
When it comes to Kepa, bro, he's gotta go. He's gotta go, bro. You just gotta go, man. And if he goes to Arsenal for that money, it'll be hilarious because I don't know what's wrong with Arsenal, man. They just love taking I
don't know what's wrong with Arsenal either.
It's starting to get a bit weird obsession. I'll be real with you.
Yeah, TJ, get your club out. Get
man,
your club,
what's going
bro.
on?
Yeah, but the other stuff too. I mean, we went over a few things there.
I said before, like with Vega, for example.
Yeah.
He burnt his bridges at the club, which makes sense because of the way he pushed for the Juve move and then tried to do reverse. Oh, I'd love to stay back at Chelsea, stuff like that. So clearly, his agent or himself combined basically fucked him up at the club. So I don't know where he goes next, but wherever he goes, at least you're going to be making a good chunk of money off of it, right? So that's one benefit that you've got. And then what's the other thing? The Broya.
Yeah.
It's really bad for him, bro. Because
I feel bad for him too.
First injury, bro. He's just never been the same. He's never come back out of the hood, bro. Yeah. So like for me, it's just quite saddening what's happened to him, bro.
Yeah. Let me actually. Hey, so what do you think about this one? Actually, Achimpong staying. They're saying he's not even gonna go on loan.
Bro, but I think of Achimpong, he's had
a solid season.
He's had a solid season as a backup. But I also think of Achimpong, what makes him work really well, you know what it is? He's a very versatile centre back and he can play right back for you, bro. Right? So that's the thing you want to do as well. So that's what it just comes down to for me personally. So at the end of the day, the Ugochukwu is saddening because I really think when it comes to Essugo, I really don't, what's it called? I don't think we needed Essugo, bro. I think Ugochukwu was the perfect fit for that situation for us, bro. The experience, the minutes he's gotten, I think the ability that he has, he would have been quite good for us. I don't know about you. I just don't see the Essugo thing, bro. I'll be honest.
Let me see this. How old is Ugochukwu? Let me copy.
Ugochukwu is like 23, if I'm not mistaken.
My dude looks old as shit. He is 21. Oh my god, bro.
That's what I'm saying, bro. He was only 21. Sorry, so he was even younger than what I thought. So that's the point I'm trying to make, bro. He's only 21. He's quite a talented guy, bro. I just don't see the point of us trying to sell him now, bro.
This guy, bro. Fucking A. In terms of Ugochukwu, I mean, listen, I don't know. It's not. I think he's gonna get sold, but it's not. It's not set in stone. There is that possibility he does stay. You never know, because I was under the impression that you were gonna have a backup for Enzo and Paez. You're gonna have a backup for Essugo, Caicedo and Essugo, and a backup for Lavia, a rotational player for Lavia and Santos. Now we're finding out that Paez is leaving. That gives me now, okay, so then you could put Santos as a rotational with Enzo, and you can have Ugochukwu be the backup for Lavia. So there could be room. There could be room. I don't know. I think a lot of the sells and a lot of the big moves, the ones that are still questionable, I should say, right? Because obviously Ben Chilwell, you can do it before the Club World Cup. Raheem Sterling, you can do that before the Club World Cup. We already know they have no value to this team, right? Other than get the salary off the books. However, those other players like Ugochukwu, the ones that we don't know about, Paez, so on and so forth, Esteval. Let's see how the Club World Cup goes. And then we'll see if we want to loan them out or keep them at the club or sell them. So it's one of those that we're going to probably play it by ear. I agree with you that I would like to keep Ugochukwu, but I've come to terms that in this club, in this version of Chelsea right now, it's starting to become survival of the fittest. Even if you're good, if you're not better than what's there, out. We might have another in the future. Okay. Listen to what I'm going to say, chat, okay? I don't want you to take it out of context. If everything goes as planned and these players develop into these top elite players that the club seem to be going for, we could have a case in the future where we let go the next KDB and the next Salah. All right? I'm not saying these players are the next KDB or the next Salah. I'm just saying if the data is right and the trajectory goes right, which is not always a straightforward trajectory, we could be in that position where we have so many good players that we have to let go of other good players. So time will tell with that one. Moving on to the next topic. The second to last topic before we end the show is a bit of news on some strikers. So just to give you a bit of an update on what's going on with the strikers, the other ones that we haven't talked about, the non-major ones. So to bring it up here, Chelsea have around 8 to 9 targets on their agenda. Liam Delap continues to be a major target and is available for £30 million. This is already done, obviously, but there are alternatives like Hugo Ekitike and Benjamin Sesko and a host of other on the club's radar. This is coming from late May. Then we fast forward again, another one from late May. McGrath saying here that Red Bull Leipzig have put an asking price of oh my God.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Wow. Okay, so I didn't know this. They're asking £92.5 million for Benjamin Sesko. That's insane. Chelsea have previously shown an interest in Benjamin Sesko and could try to get involved if they miss out on other targets, according to Ed Aarons. Victor Osimhen. So this came out a day ago. Understand Al Hilal have now made a formal offer to Victor Osimhen worth 30 million euros per season, which comes out to be about 500,000 or 550,000 euros a week, which is an insane amount of money. Obviously, a lot of fans saying he's going for the money, he's going for the money. Saudi's the only one going for him, yada, yada. And Turkey's also the only one going for him. So 30 million euros per season with bonuses on top. As revealed in April, Osimhen a key target ahead of the Club World Cup. One to watch in the next few days. The next tweet. We got this today from Fabrizio. Understand Victor Osimhen deal with Al Hilal about to collapse as there's no agreement with the player. Galatasaray have entered strong in the race, trying to get the deal done. Wow. Wow. That's a big development in terms of the Osimhen story.
Apparently, he was pissed at, because they were offering more wages to Bruno Fernandes, right? If you remember.
Oh my days, this guy.
So he got pissed, like, oh, why are you offering me that little wages, basically?
We'll see. That's insane. If that's true, that is insane. We continue on the last two tweets I have in this segment. So Kieran Gill came out a day ago saying Even if they are looking at signing another striker after Liam Delap, I've not had any indications that they are trying to sell Nicholas Jackson. Ahmed in the mud? Maybe. Sources close to Jackson add he is happy where he is and ready to compete. He also says sources close to Jackson say he is happy and he is ready to compete. Mark Guiu can leave on loan for guaranteed game time. And that's all I have left for this segment. I think the biggest one is this one, the Osimhen. Does that mean potentially we can come back into this conversation?
No, we're not coming back. We're not coming back, bro. Give it up, bro. He's never coming back. So I've said this before.
People's hearts.
Yeah, I don't even listen. You know, I've never wanted him anyway. So this is not me. I'm not even that moved by it. I think with him, he's not coming back. He's probably gonna stay at Galatasaray. I think Galatasaray the government's gonna help Galatasaray keep him. You know how they do stuff like that. You know how they move stuff like that. So that's it. It's quite simple, Osimhen. Now let's talk about the Jackson thing. I've said this before. Jackson's thing is very simple.
Talk to me.
Right now, the market, there's 3 strikers on there, right? You got Sesko, Gyokeres, and
Osimhen. Jonathan David's in there if you want to add him.
Ekitike, no, because David's already gone to Napoli, right? So,
wait, is that done?
That's pretty much done. Yes, that's why he's not on the list. Okay, so the reason why I'm saying this, and I want you to think carefully what I'm talking about. Chelsea are trying to close and complete Ekitike right now, bro, and hopefully they can get that done before Monday, because Monday's basically is the 9th, right? Monday's the 9th, correct?
Monday is the 8th. Monday is the 9th. You're right. Monday is pretty much the week of Club World Cup, pretty much.
Yes, right. And then the 10th is basically the last day, is deadline day for like transfers, right? So essentially, right. So you're trying to get everything done by tomorrow or by the weekend, so you can get paperwork through, medicals done, essentially, right? So you want to make sure. Just bear with me for a moment, okay? What you want to do is you want to take 2 strikers off the market. You've done Delap already. You've taken Ekitike off the market. Now you create a drought in the market for a certain level. Yeah, you've created a certain level, an emptiness in the market for a certain type of player, right? Like Jackson, who's an upcoming buy that can become the potential to be a good regular striker, Marshall, right? And then you bring him on the market after you get your 2 strikers. Now I know some people have said, "Oh, if you do that, people know you've got 2 strikers, so they're gonna think they can lowball you." But I'm like, that's not true, because the striker market is so limited and so restricted. That cannot work in our current situation. So for me, you could probably get 50 to 60 million for Nicholas Jackson, bro. And that's from just like a club perspective, bro. Like, do you know what I'm saying to you? This is why for me, I like what the club is doing, getting these 2 guys in straight away. Because the thing is, if Sesko becomes too expensive or Gyokeres becomes too expensive, who's to say United might not come in for him? Who says another club that knew? A lot of these clubs are looking for strikers, bro. A lot of these mid-table to low mid-table clubs, bro, they're fiending. They're hungry for a striker, but they can't get one done, bro. Right? And then Jackson becomes a nice mid-price, cheap alternative, bro.
He's not a bad striker either.
That's what I'm saying, right? It becomes a nice, cheap alternative that's got bags of potential that hasn't been reached yet.
Yeah, 100%.
See?
Yeah, I agree.
See what I did there?
No, and I've always agreed with that theory. To an extent, to an extent, chat, like we've kind of done that with the goalkeepers, right? Like you look at our goalkeepers, like there's a reason we have so many goalkeepers. Slonina, Petrovic, Bettinelli is just a quota, right? But you have Petrovic, you have Slonina, you have Jorgensen, Sanchez. And people are saying that they're interested, we have our goalkeepers, whatever. There's already, and I saw it before when I was looking through Twitter, there's already interest in Selena. There's clubs that are interested in Petrovic. There's more, also, I could see potentially Jorgensen going on a loan. He could go into Strasbourg, you never know. But what I'm getting at, and Penders, people are interested in Penders as well. So to an extent, we're kind of already doing that with the goalkeepers. However, you could also look at our midfield too. Our midfield's stacked, and we're gonna get more midfielders.
Like, 1 second, let me still get that.
Yeah, you're good, bro. But yeah, in a sense, like what Ahmed's saying, I get it. When the goalkeeping or when the striker market is so fucking poor as it is right now, it makes sense that to an extent we're trying to almost monopolize it. So in a sense that we can actually sell a Jackson. So, and I don't even think we need to do it necessarily to sell Jackson, but there will be clubs interested in Jackson. He's not a bad striker. He's just not good enough for Chelsea. That's really, really simply what it is. There's a big difference. But yeah, it's, you know, Ahmed said all that, and he did mention Ekitike, so we'll end it on this one, ladies and gents. Big up to every single one of you that have been, you know, here since the beginning of the show, 3.5 hours. And if you did watch up until this point in the comments section, blue circles or blue squares in the comments to let me know your proper Chels. But we'll end it on this last topic, which is Ekitike. Ekitike. So since Ahmed brought it up, let's talk about Ekitike. Let's get a little bit of an update on Hugo Ekitike, just for you guys who are fans of Hugo Ekitike. And yeah, let's see what's going on with Ekitike. So starting off with this one, rumor reports suggest that both Chelsea and Liverpool are looking to include players in the deal for Hugo Ekitike. Frankfurt, on the other side, wants Dylan Bakwa, a 22-year-old Strasbourg right winger, in exchange for Chelsea. The rumors turns out to be true. It will annoy me. Okay, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I have seen Bakwa play for Strasbourg a few times. He's a pretty good winger. He is a pretty good winger. Still needs to develop, but he's been pretty good for Strasbourg last season. So, CF Bayern coming up here with a little bit of a summarized point-to-point tweet here about what's going on. Frankfurt are waiting for Chelsea's offer for Hugo Ekitike. Liverpool think he's too expensive after spending on Wirtz. Arsenal are talking to Sesko. Frankfurt have identified a potential replacement for Mainz, and Chelsea are leading the race for Hugo. Guardian Sport reporting here that Chelsea like Eintracht Frankfurt's Hugo Ekitike, but see him as too expensive at £84 million. And I agree, that's very expensive. I do like the player. I've been impressed with what I've seen so far. He's been pretty good. He's very smooth dribbler. Very smooth dribbler. A much more polished version of Jackson, I would say. But Chelsea remains very active in the race for Hugo Ekitike. Further talks have taken place, but more teams are showing interest in him. Frankfurt is not ruling out the possibility of him leaving in the current transfer window. The demanded package remains at £84 million. No offers yet. And then, you know, take this with a pinch of salt. Coming from Adler News, Chelsea have reached a verbal agreement with Hugo Ekitike and his entourage. Chelsea will now make the first offer to Frankfurt, demanding €100 million. An agreement of €80 million plus bonuses is possible. So Tanjilic and L'Equipe, another L'Equipe being a pretty reliable source, said Chelsea stepped up efforts in recent hours on Monday to sign Hugo Ekitike from Frankfurt. Chelsea have now made a formal inquiry for Hugo Ekitike. However, they are not prepared to meet Frankfurt's £84.3 million evaluation. That's coming from The Athletic. We continue on from Plenty Goal. Chelsea are now currently working on a verbal agreement for Hugo Ekitike. There has already been initial contact with Eintracht Frankfurt, who are still demanding £84 million. It remains open whether Chelsea and Eintracht will reach an agreement. L'Equipe saying here, Chelsea and Blue are trying to use Dylan Bakwa of Strasbourg to facilitate a Hugo Ekitike deal. Chelsea had direct contact with Frankfurt on Hugo Ekitike in the last 48 hours and were told €100 million. Chelsea believe he would be perfect addition to the squad and are still there. Let's see if they can include some player on the price drops. Fabrizio Romano reporting. Update on Hugo Ekitike from the Ryan Taylor Sport here. Chelsea talks between Chelsea and Hugo on personal terms considered advanced. Frenchman keen on the move. PSG 20% sell-on clause complicates the deal. Frankfurt yet to budge on the £84 million valuation. And that 20% sell-on clause from PSG, it makes more sense why they value him so highly. They want a little bit more out of the cut because they're going to lose out on it 20% to PSG. So in that sense, ladies and gents, the price now makes a little bit more sense why they're asking £84 million. And here's a little bit of a scouting report on Hugo Ekitike from in comparison to Alexander Isak. So take a look, see what you like. You got Alexander Isak in the blue, Hugo Ekitike in the red. And listen, it's some good stats to look at. It's nice to see. Obviously, 2 different leagues. You could take that into consideration. But the stats are there. It looks nice. Ahead of Isak in terms of passes attempted, shots, shot creating actions, the NP, non-penalty expected goals and expected assists. You're looking at expected assists as well. Definitely a lot more assists than our friend Alexander Isak, who is more of a focal point as a striker. Non-penalty goals, Isak's got you beat on that, and blocks, Isak's got you beat, but who cares about blocks really? And then we got progressive passes as well. Isak's got him beat on that. But very similar in pass completion, just very similar in general in terms of what we're looking at stats wise. I think the one that hurts him the most here, let me get this banner out of the way so you guys can see it. I think the one that hurts him the most is the tackles, interceptions, and the amount of aerial duels won. Oh no, Isak. Okay, never mind. I read this backwards. Yeah, aerial duels won. Hugo Ekitike is in that conversation. Wow, good to see. But Ahmed, your thoughts on Ekitike, man? I mean, obviously we know 84 million pounds is a lot, but are you convinced that this player is going to be a good player for Chelsea? Would you even pay that price?
I think for me, listen, I think he's probably worth 60 to 70 million. And I think that's probably what the club value him at. I think he's a much better version of Jackson already.
Stay safe, Ikaisi.
Right? You know what I mean? He's a much better version of Jackson, but he's got more potential to still even get better and reach an even better point than Jackson, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm pretty sure you would agree with me, right? So I think for me, at the end of the day, that's the type of guy that you want in the team, but you want to make improvements to your team. Again, in the striker market, you know, if you're not going for Osimhen, in my personal opinion, who even I don't rate personally, the market is basically kind of cooked. Let's be real, Marshall.
It is.
Right? So at least go for the guys that have that are showing the best, at least statistically, the best stats right now, right? Or the best like indications that they're gonna get somewhere for you. So that's what I'm looking at. And again, I think for me, Jackson, he's had a really bad second season, if you're being objectively honest about it, right? He had a great start, poor middle, and an even worse end to the story, sadly. That's just, you know what I mean? And that's not the type of ending you want for any season ever. And I just think for me, you need to improve in that. You know, if you want to take that next step, which it seems the club is trying to do, right? You have to improve on what you've got. So he's a clear improvement of that. I think this deal will get done again. This is something that will probably happen before the Club World Cup. Again, I'd probably say keep your eyes open Friday, Saturday. I'll probably say. I think tomorrow we will know how advanced this deal is, by the way. I think we'll know how advanced this deal is tomorrow. I think we'll know. I think the Maignan deal will probably be well advanced by tomorrow as well. And we'll probably get here he goes over the weekend, in my personal opinion.
I think so as well. I mean, listen, ladies and gents, Club World Cup.
Listen, man, Marshall needs to sell his beers, man. You know what I mean? We need Ekitike here. We need Maignan here, man. We need to get Marshall, you know, selling his beers everywhere, man. You know what I mean, man? You know what I mean?
Bro.
How much percentage more is Ekitike do you think getting in beer sales? It's quite
fucking this show. I mean, I'm at 3 hours and a half. It's got me. I'm thirsty out here, man. I need some beer. Nah, I mean, listen. What? Oh my days, bro. Oh my days.
No. Listen, the thing for me, Ahmed, is that
the profile picture, bro.
I understand. I'm just keeping it pushing. I told you before. I don't really care, so it's not a problem to me. Yeah. Listen, I think for me, the club wants to get their main signings. I've said this before, like the key main signings in positions which they know that are going to need to embed in to the team much faster already, right? Because if you're, let's say hypothetically speaking, if the left wing you're going for is going to be Gittens plus like a Morgan Rogers, you don't need to bet in a Morgan Rogers into the team necessarily, right? Because he's already a Premier League. He's Premier League proven already.
He's played with the players already.
Played with the players already. Yeah. So that's one thing, right? Then same if I would say, we would give the same similar stuff to a Kudus as well. So again, at the end of the day, I just look at that and I'm like, you know what? I don't necessarily need to worry about that. And again, the Kudus deal, the Morgan Rogers deal, have until the end of June to get done. Remember, I told you this before. The PSR stuff, you know this too, with Aston Villa, right? Is what attracted the club to try to get him. Kudus, we've spoken about before. So again, a lot of these other deals, that positions you're looking at, you can get them in a little bit more sooner. That's the only thing.
Yeah, let's see what happens, because like we were saying before, ladies and gents, Club World Cup is starting next Saturday. They want to get these deals done quick. They probably, if we are to believe what they said in January, they got that head start to get these deals done quickly. You saw what happened with Kenda. You saw what happened with Essugo. I do think they're going to have some here we goes. I don't know how they're going to come to it, the agreement. Time will tell. It will be interesting to see how it all plays out and who ends up getting across the line. But yeah, we're here for it, ladies and gents. We're definitely going to be watching with close eyes, and we're definitely going to be here to talk about it on Sunday. So hopefully by the time we get to Sunday, maybe at least another here we go or two, and yeah, we'll go from there, ladies and gents. But yeah, that being said, I'm gonna wrap it up here, ladies and gents. Let's go ahead and see if I can find homeboy's There he is. Found him. Okay, cool. So we're gonna close it out here, ladies and gents. We're gonna have the raid message as always. So copy and paste that raid message. Let our boy RSM know where we're coming from, because we're gonna raid out to RSM. He's doing a little bit of a watch along. Well, it's over now, but he was doing the watch along for Ecuador, Brazil, which apparently was a dead game. Moises Caicedo shutting it down.
Yeah, man. Esteval, man, definitely needs to begin to Strasbourg, man. After that game, bro, as I said before, man, let's not put this brother in trouble, man. I am telling you, Marshall, bro, the way things are going, that I'm worried for him, bro. Let's send him to Strasbourg. I don't know why we're trying to do stuff.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Boss, man.
We'll see what happens. All eyes on Club World Cup. All eyes on the transfer window for Chelsea. And yeah, copy and paste that raid message. Let RSM know where you're coming from. Also, ladies and gents, smash up the like button if you haven't done so already. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new here, because we will be doing this again on Sunday. There will be more content here. There is cookings that are going to be happening. The receipt stream is going to be coming out. There is going to be a Chelsea hour soon with special guests. Lots and lots of content for you guys, so stay tuned. I promise you it will be worth it. Also, bell notifications so you're notified whenever we go live. Also, check out the links in the description. More content. Ahmed, the Bridge Nation's down there. You got me and my content, the music. Big up to Ahmed Durag.
UFC, by the way, again, Saturday. Is it Morocco fight?
On Saturday, I unfortunately will not be there. I have a concert to play. But I will watch from a distance. I'll be there in spirit. Unfortunately, I won't be doing a watch along for the UFC. Sorry, guys.
It's the Morocco fight, right? That'll be Saturday, isn't it?
Yeah, Marab and Sean O'Malley rematch. Oh my and it's happening in Jersey too. I got my boy 2 tickets for my company, and I couldn't get tickets for myself because I'm performing, so I can't. Sacrifices need to be made. Sacrifices need to be made, bro. Sacrifices needed to be made.
The game's the game, man. Listen,
the game is the game, man.
And you know, future rockstar, man. Don't worry, man. UFC be giving you the free ticket scene, man. Don't worry.
I fucking hope so. I'm not gonna sleep tonight now that I thought about that, bro. But yeah, big up to Jonathan for the tickets he's getting. So I hope you enjoy it. I told him to take pictures and videos, please. So yeah, I won't be doing a UFC watch along on Saturday, unfortunately. I'm missing the second one in a row now, but it is what it is. The game is the game, like Ahmed said. But the game is also the game on YouTube. Smash the like, subscribe, check out the link in the description, leave a comment down below, let us know your thoughts on everything we discussed today. Check out the memberships, 4 different tiers starting at 99p. That helps us out tremendously. And if you are a proper casual and higher tiered member, we give you shout outs at the end of every show. It's going to go out to Daniel, TM127, EE, Dark, Adrian, and A. Soliman. Big up so much for your support, by the way. And I need to figure out TM127, what move is that in Pokemon, because that's clearly a Pokemon thing. But yeah, big up to every single one of you. I hope you enjoyed the show, enjoyed having you guys here in chat, enjoyed discussing with the panel. And yeah, we'll catch you guys next time. As always, have a wonderful night, stay casual, and peace.